अभिनंदन, इस्तकबाल और स्वागत किया जाएगा। और वही नजारा मैं देख पा रहा हूँ कि प्रधानमंत्री की आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उनकी गाड़ी जो है वो आगे की तरफ बढ़ रही है और दोनों तरफ जो पंक्तिबद्ध लोग खड़े हैं वो प्रचंड नारे के साथ पूरा जो माहौल है वो गुंजायमान हो चला है। और धीरे धीरे उनकी गाड़ी जो है वो जहाँ पर एसएच कॉलेज जो रैली ग्राउंड है, रैली ग्राउंड की तरफ उनकी गाड़ी जो है धीरे धीरे बढ़ रही है। दोनों तरफ सड़क के दोनों तरफ लोग खड़े हैं और रैली ग्राउंड की अगर बात करें तो रैली ग्राउंड में खचाखच भरा हुआ है। जो राज्य के नौजवान हैं, जो कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट हैं, बुद्धिजीवी हैं, इंटेलेक्चुअल्स हैं, पत्रकार हैं, वो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी से संवाद करना चाहते हैं। वो देश के विकास मॉडल को समझना चाहते हैं ताकि जो हिंदुस्तान का विकास मॉडल है निखिल, वो कैसे केरल का विकास मॉडल बने, इसके लिए तैयारियां जो है पूरे जोर शोर से है। तेजस्वी सूर्या जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी राष्ट्रीय युवा मोर्चा के अध्यक्ष, वो केरल बीजेपी के प्रधान जावड़ेकर समेत अनेक जो राष्ट्रीय और प्रांतीय नेता हैं जो रैली स्थल पर मौजूद है। और प्रधानमंत्री का काफिला जो है वो रोड शो से गुजरता हुआ आहिस्ता आहिस्ता अब अपने एसएच कॉलेज ग्राउंड जहां पर युवम मेगा यूथ कॉन्क्लेव को प्रधानमंत्री संबोधित करेंगे, ग्राउंड पर वो अब पहुंचने की तैयारी।
ये दृश्य जो हमारे दर्शक देख रहे हैं, राजेश राज देख रहे हैं, जैसे सड़कों को गेंदे के फूल से पाट दिया गया है। लगातार जो गाड़ी के शीशे हैं वो साफ करने पड़ रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री स्वयं पैदल चलकर लोगों के बीच में पहुंचे हैं और अब वो अपनी गाड़ी पर एक तरह से गेट पर बाहर जो जिसको कहते हैं, जिस तरह से वो हाथ पकड़कर बाहर एक तरह से निकलकर खड़े हो जाते हैं, वो दृश्य अब देखने को मिल रहे हैं। लगातार प्रधानमंत्री के स्वागत में फूलों की बारिश हो रही है और ये स्वतः स्फूर्त है। जो लोग आए हैं यहाँ पर वो देखने को मिल रहा है, जिस तरह से जो आनंद, जो उत्साह, जो जिस तरह से लोग प्रफुल्लित हैं वो देखने को बनता है। और इतनी बड़ी संख्या में इतना बड़ा हुजूम केरल में जिस तरह से जुटा हुआ है, ये शायद अकल्पनीय था पहले। हमारे साथ हमारे संपादकीय सलाहकार विनोद मिश्रा भी जुड़े हुए हैं, उनसे भी यही सवाल जो है। विनोद जी, आपको लगता है कुछ वर्षों पहले तक सुदूर केरल में, दक्षिण भारत में और किसी भाजपा नेता की, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री भी बीजेपी के बड़े लीडर माने जाते हैं, देश के प्रधानमंत्री तो हैं ही, उनकी जो लोकप्रियता है उसमें लगातार उत्तरोत्तर जो है वो बढ़ोतरी हो रही है। लेकिन कभी इससे पहले सोचा गया था कि इस तरह से किसी प्रधानमंत्री का स्वागत होगा? क्या वजह, प्रमुख वजह देखते हैं इसकी?
लेकिन मैं इस रोड शो पे तो हमारे रिपोर्टर वहां बता रहे थे और मुझे लगता है कि वो जो ग्राउंड जीरो पे खड़े होके बता रहे थे वो तो समझने की जरूरत है ही। लेकिन ये रोड शो आज की तारीख में जो पॉलिटिकल इक्वेशन बनाने की बात हो रही है, उनको भी ये समझने की जरूरत है कि रीच आउट क्या होता है। इसको पीएम मोदी ने जब तक साबित किया है, चाहे वो बनारस में रोड शो करके हो, गुजरात में रोड शो करके हो, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में रोड शो करके हो, या आप महाराष्ट्र में, मुंबई में आप देख लें, या साउथ में कर्नाटक में देख लें, पीएम ने रोड शो के जरिए डायरेक्ट सीधे सीधे आम आदमी से अपना संवाद बनाने की कोशिश की है। ये रीच आउट जो है वो बताता है कि जब एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर जननायक के रूप में देश में आता है, जब एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर का सीधे जनता से संवाद होता है, तो वो कोई राजनीतिक फॉर्मूला डाइनिंग रूम में या एसी रूम में नहीं बनाता है। ये सारे विपक्ष के लीडर जो आज हम देख रहे थे कि ये इस डाइनिंग रूम से उस डाइनिंग रूम में, इस विपक्ष के नेता उस विपक्ष के रूप में वो मिल रहे हैं और जो 2024 के लिए अपने अपने फॉर्मूले बना रहे हैं, उनके सामने में सबसे बड़ा टारगेट पीएम मोदी का ये रोड शो है, जो ये बताता है कि जो जन समर्थन और जन सैलाब पीएम मोदी के लिए केरल में भी अगर उभर के आता है, तो आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं कि नॉर्थ इंडिया में और गुजरात में या बाकी स्टेट में फिर उसका जो चमत्कार है, करिश्मा है, वो किस रूप में, पब्लिक रूप में दिखता है। तो सवाल सीधा है, ये राजनीतिक मैसेज भी है कि जब तक आप जनता से नहीं जुड़ेंगे या जनता का जुड़ाव आपसे नहीं होगा, तब आप 2+2 4 करेंगे तो ये राजनीति में कभी भी सक्सेस नहीं होता है। राजनीति में सक्सेस तब होता है जब उसका राजनीतिक नेतृत्व का सीधा जनता से संवाद होता है। आप देख रहे हैं कि घरों में, बालकनी में, खिड़कियों में जो एक भीड़ लगी हुई है, लोग देख रहे हैं, पीएम मोदी को वहां से अभिवादन कर रहे हैं। ये एक लगाव है, वो किसको वोट दे रहे हैं, नहीं दे रहे हैं, केरला में क्या फैक्टर है, राजनीति का क्या इक्वेशन है, ये सब दूर की बात है। सीधी बात ये है कि वो डायरेक्ट पीएम मोदी को जान रहे हैं, वो डायरेक्ट पीएम मोदी को अभिवादन कर रहे हैं। तो पीएम मोदी उनके सामने में एक ऐसे टॉल लीडर है जो एक राष्ट्रीय नेता के रूप में उनके सामने में सबसे बड़ी इमेज है। ये रोड शो बता रहा है। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि पीएम मोदी उस इलाके में रोड शो कर रहे हैं जहां उनका कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव नहीं है। वहां आप देखिए म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन से एमपी तक सारे लेफ्ट के यूडीएफ से लेके और बाकी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का होता है, बीजेपी का अभी भी संघर्ष जारी है। लेकिन अगर उस इलाके में पीएम का ये सपोर्ट मिलता है, ये जन समर्थन मिलता है, तो आप कह सकते हैं कि पार्टी लाइन से अलग हटके जनता के बीच में वो अभी भी राष्ट्रीय सबसे बड़े नेता है। लेकिन
निश्चित तौर पर विनोद जी, और इस संवेद स्वर को जो शोर उठ रहा है, मोदी मोदी के जो नारे लग रहे हैं, ये जो भावना है इसको समझने की जरूरत है। जिस तरह से जो प्रसन्न चित्त चेहरे, और जैसा कि मैंने शुरू में कहा कि जैसे क्रिकेट के ग्राउंड में जब चौके छक्के लगते हैं तो लोग खुशी से चीख पड़ते हैं, कुछ उस तरह से चीखते चिल्लाते संवेद स्वर में शोर मचाते मोदी मोदी के नारों से गुंजायमान करते हुए पूरा इलाका, पूरा माहौल, और हर व्यक्ति वहां जो खड़ा है सड़क के किनारे वो एक झलक तो पाना ही चाहता है। हर व्यक्ति हाथ हिला रहा है, उसको लगता है कि प्रधानमंत्री उनको रिस्पॉन्ड दे रहे हैं और वो एक बार अपने प्रधानमंत्री का स्वागत कर ले, इस्तकबाल कर ले। जिस लोकप्रियता की बात आप प्रधानमंत्री की कर रहे हैं, जब हम सबका साथ सबका विकास की बात करते हैं और देश के हर हिस्से में जो केंद्रीय योजनाएं हैं विनोद मिश्रा जी वो पहुंचती हैं, शायद ये एक वजह है कि लोगों को लगता है कि जो प्रधानमंत्री की योजनाएं हैं वो गरीबों के लिए है, हाशिए पर खड़े जो करोड़ों करोड़ लोग हैं उनके लिए है।
देखिए निखिल, यही बात है, ये समझने की बात है कि अब जब
Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. We're staying with the live images of the Prime Minister's roadshow coming in from Kerala. He's touched down a short while ago, and as you can see in the pictures, he was walking the streets of Kerala on foot, and then of course also waving at the crowd from the parapet of the car as well. You can see the number of people who've come out to greet the Prime Minister in Kerala. This is going to be a key visit of the Prime Minister. There's of course a lot of political symbolism, but more than that, what these pictures are proving today is just the fundamental popularity of the Prime Minister, even in a state like Kerala where BJP is not that big of a political player. Let's just try and listen in one more time to these images coming in.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट के हों या फिर गुजरात के हों, महाराष्ट्र के हों, ये देखिए ये फूल का जो किस तरह से वो बारिश कर रहे हैं, किस तरह से पुष्पमाला उन पे फेंक रहे हैं, तो ये बताता है कि उनका जो पर्सनल कनेक्शन है वो पीएम मोदी के साथ में है और कहीं ना कहीं से केंद्र की इन तमाम योजनाओं का उन्होंने एक तरह से साक्षात्कार किया है, उनके घर में पहुंचा है, वो लाभान्वित हुए हैं। इसलिए पीएम मोदी जब उनके बीच में गुजरते हैं तो ये एक तरह का थैंक्स गिविंग है। लेकिन
जी, आपने एक बात और कही कि ये इसको पॉलिटिकल कनेक्शन से एक कदम और आगे समझना चाहिए, इसको इमोशनल कनेक्ट समझना चाहिए। जो प्रधानमंत्री की योजनाएं हैं, जो प्रधानमंत्री का ओवरऑल व्यक्तित्व है, जो जिस टॉल लीडरशिप की बात आप कर रहे हैं, उसका आकर्षण है आज यहाँ की जो जुटी हुई भीड़ है।
लेकिन ये देखिए, ये हमारे देश में ये समझने की जरूरत है कि एक राष्ट्रीय नेता के रीजनल पार्टी में हमारे बहुत सारे नेता हैं। आप 28 स्टेट में देखिए कि अलग अलग पार्टियों के अलग अलग बड़े बड़े टॉल लीडर हैं, लेकिन उन सारे लीडरों की जो भूमिका है वो कहीं ना कहीं भूमिका में वो अपने परिवार और अपने किसी वर्ग और किसी जाति विशेष में बंधे हुए हैं। लोकप्रियता के रूप में अगर मोदी के सामने में कोई खड़ा करने की कोशिश करते हैं तो शायद उनको ये चुनौती उनके सामने में है। जो केरल से लेके कन्याकुमारी तक, कश्मीर से लेके नॉर्थ ईस्ट तक, जहां भी पीएम का रोड शो होता है और उसमें जो लोगों का, आम लोगों का जो चीयरिंग है, जो आम लोगों का वो अभिवादन है, आम लोगों का वो जो आप देख रहे हैं एक एक्साइटमेंट है, वो शायद आज की तारीख में किसी लीडर के लिए सामने में नहीं है। और यही इसलिए पीएम मोदी किसी के लिए आज की तारीख में सबसे बड़ी चुनौती है, क्योंकि उनका सीधा संवाद आम लोगों से है, सीधा सरोकार आम लोगों से है और लोगों का भी अपने प्राइम मिनिस्टर से सीधा सरोकार है, जो ये रोड शो हमें आज दिखा रहा है। निखिल
जी, निश्चित तौर पर हमारे संवाददाता शैलेंद्र मिश्रा भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। बीजेपी की बीट कवर करते रहे, बीजेपी से जुड़ी हुई स्टोरीज कवर करते रहे शैलेंद्र आप, और जिस तरह से विनोद मिश्रा जी कह रहे हैं कि ये यात्रा भले ही राजनीतिक ना हो लेकिन इसका जो इमोशनल कनेक्ट है वो सामने दिखाई पड़ रहा है। अगर ये यात्रा राजनीतिक नहीं है, ये बात बिल्कुल सही है। इसका मकसद भी युवाओं के साथ एक जुड़ाव है, एक इवेंट के साथ जुड़ना है, लेकिन इसका लाभ तो जरूर बीजेपी को मिलेगा, ऐसा लगता है आपको?
लेकिन निश्चित तौर पर जब हम देखते हैं कि इतना बड़ा जनसमूह प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के कार्यक्रमों में उमड़ता है, इसके पीछे एक वजह भी है। जब आप देख रहे हैं कि स्टार्टअप इकोनॉमी में हम कितनी तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, जब देश के युवाओं को ज्यादा से ज्यादा बेहतर अवसर मिल रहा है, और आपने उन तस्वीरों में देखा जब महिलाएं बड़ी संख्या में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी पर फूल बरसा रही थी। आज करोड़ों करोड़ों महिलाओं को धुएं से आजादी मिली है। तो दरअसल ये तस्वीर दिखाती है कि वो जो इमोशनल कनेक्ट आया है उसकी क्या वजह है। उसकी वजह है जब धुएं से आजादी मिली है, ऐसी करोड़ों महिलाओं को बहुत पक्का छत मिला है, करोड़ों परिवारों को जिनको इससे पहले कच्चे घरों में रहना पड़ता था।
Right, so those are images of the Prime Minister walking the streets after landing in Kerala, and he's holding his roadshow, but this is really turning out to be almost a padyatra of sorts. My colleague Neetu is also joining us, keeping track of the Prime Minister's two-day visit to Kerala. Neetu, the significance is obviously a lot of things. The Prime Minister is there to inaugurate certain developmental projects and reach out to the Christian community. Just take us through the top important significances of the Prime Minister's visit. That both as the government and as the BJP party, they would like to achieve in this visit.
These images that is coming from the streets of Kochi, we can see how the workers are receiving the Prime Minister. Not just the workers, the public have also come to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And though it was initially said that he will be traveling in the car in this 1.8 kilometer stretch, it would be a road show. The Prime Minister actually walked several meters there on that road, addressing, waving out to the crowd on both sides, and the crowd also receiving him with flowers. Flowers were showered on him through this entire 1.8 kilometer stretch. He has reached the venue at Thevara Sacred Heart College, where the YUVAM program will be held. So this is where he will be interacting with the youth of the state. So this is basically, we should look at it as a BJP's push, because they have been trying to get a foothold in the state for long. After the recent win in Northeast, the Prime Minister himself said that soon there will be a government by the BJP in Kerala also, and from that day we are seeing a lot of activities on the ground, and it was after that we saw the minority push also. So now, while he's interacting with the youth, he's interacting with people from all walks of life. There are film actors like Undi Mukund and Navya Nair are all present at the venue. The singer Vijay Yeshudas are all there at the venue. Anil Anthony, A.K. Anthony's son, who had left the Congress and joined the BJP, they're all there at the venue, and Prime Minister will be speaking to the youth of Kerala. So that is the push that the BJP is trying to give, that the youth of the Kerala, that Prime Minister is still sought out by the youth of the Kerala, of the state, the youth of the country, and for that it's the Prime Minister's vision that is needed. So this is the messaging that they are giving, and after this he will be meeting with the heads of 8 Christian churches. So this includes the Orthodox, the Jacobite, the Latin Catholic, the Malangara Church, the Malabar Church. So all at least 8 is what we are understanding. So that is also a push towards the Christian minority. The BJP has been trying to get at least one minority community with them. The demographics of the state is also something that needs to be looked at. The state has about 18% Christians. And this they have begun at least a year before the 2024 elections. So all this is being looked in this program that is being held in Kochi today. And tomorrow in Thiruvananthapuram is a big development push where he will be flagging off the first Vande Bharat train to this state, and also the Kochi the Water Metro, the first of its kind in the country. So a development push, reaching out to the youth, to the Christian community, the BJP's push for Kerala, trying to reach to the people of Kerala. We can see all this in this Prime Minister's visit.
Okay. Neetu, we'll keep coming back to you for more. The Prime Minister has now reached the Sacred Heart College ground where he's set to begin his Kerala outreach. Of course, there are multiple facets to his visit to Kerala, this roadshow in Kochi, meeting members of the Christian community, the Christian clergy, and obviously interacting with the public at large, focusing on development and outreach of the central government. This is interesting coming in because as such the BJP has not been a massive player in the polity of Kerala. It has tried very hard in recent years, especially since Narendra Modi came to power, has met with some successes, but has also slid back as far as their vote share amongst the Christians is concerned. And now, of course, there will be a renewed push. Recently in the Kerala Assembly elections held, there wasn't much to write home about the BJP. But what is standing out as far as these images today is concerned is the fact that the Prime Minister's personal popularity continues to be very, very high. Let's listen in one more time to these visuals.
वाले लोग हैं, मजदूर है, वो जो एक सेंटिमेंट का पीएम के साथ में जुड़ाव वो दिखाता है, वो ये बताता है कि ये जो पर्सनल कनेक्शन होता है वो किसी भी आइडियोलॉजी और किसी भी राजनीतिक फार्मूले से ज्यादा अहमियत और ज्यादा ही सीमेंटेड करता है अपने बॉन्डिंग्स में।
बिल्कुल तो बिल्कुल आपने जो बात कही, इसके पहले जो विनोद जी मैं कह रहा था कि ये कहते हैं कि यहाँ पर ईसाई और मुस्लिम बड़ी संख्या में रहते हैं और जो परंपरागत रूप से एक जमाने में कहा जाता था कि वो बीजेपी के वोटर्स नहीं है, बावजूद उसके जो कनेक्ट प्रधानमंत्री से लोग लगातार कर रहे हैं और जिस तरह से उमड़े हैं सड़क के किनारे, किस तरह से इसको देखते हैं कि ये एक बड़ा परिवर्तन है पूरी देश की राजनीति के लिहाज से भी?
देखिए निखिल, जैसे कि खबर मीडिया की खबर है कि आप आज देखिए कि पीएम से ईसाई मिशनरीज के और ईसाई समुदाय के कई वरिष्ठ लोग जो हैं आज पीएम से मिल रहे हैं। ये एक मैसेज है कि जो पीएम का सबका साथ, सबका विकास और सबका विश्वास का जो ये दर्शन रहा है और ये जो 2014 से उनकी एक नीति रही है उसका एक्सेप्टेंस कैसे बढ़ा है। तो जो आप देख सकते हैं कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट इसके इलेक्शन में आप त्रिपुरा, मणिपुर से लेकर अरुणाचल तक में, आप गोवा में जो आपने देखा है सत्ता में बीजेपी को वापस आते हुए, तो इसके पीछे वही सबका साथ, सबका विश्वास और सबका जो विकास है वो कहीं न कहीं से एक सूत्र बना है। तो आज ये पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है कि क्रिश्चियन मिशनरी के कई बड़े सीनियर लोग हैं, कई बड़े ईसाई मिशनरीज के जो धार्मिक लीडर है वो पीएम से मिलने के लिए पहुंच रहे हैं, वो अपनी बात पीएम के सामने में रखे हैं। और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आप देखिए कि जिस समय में भी इस देश में, केरल में, कि अब मैं याद दिलाऊं, जब कभी भी चाहे वो इराक का मामला हो, रेस्क्यू करने का मामला हो, या अफगानिस्तान में रेस्क्यू करने का मामला हो, सबसे ज्यादा जो नर्सेज होती है मेडिकल सर्विस में जो लोग होते हैं वो केरल से ही होते हैं। और सबसे ज्यादा उस समय में भारत सरकार ने जो रेस्क्यू कराया था वो एक केरल के जो हमारी महिलाएं थी, बहनें थी, सबको पीएम ने अपने घर में पहुंचाया था, सब सुरक्षित अपने घर में पहुंचाया था, चाहे वो अफगानिस्तान के हॉस्पिटल में हो या बगदाद के हॉस्पिटल में। लोग भूलते नहीं है जी, ये भारत सरकार का एहसान नहीं है, लेकिन ये एक कम से कम एक शेड पॉइंट है, एक इमोशंस का, जो वहां के लोग इस बात को जता रहे हैं कि यही पीएम मोदी है जो हजारों ऐसे हमारे जो वॉलेंटियर्स थे या वहां काम करने वाले, हॉस्पिटल में काम करने वाले नर्सेज थी, चाहे वो किसी भी समुदाय के हो, मुस्लिम हो, क्रिश्चियन हो, उन सबको पीएम मोदी ने बात जो है उनको घर पहुंचाया था। तो ये जो कनेक्शन होता है, बार बार पीएम ने इस चीज का एहसास लोगों में कराया है कि ये सबका साथ, सबका विकास और सबका प्रयास का जो मूल मंत्र है उसमें कोई भी राजनीतिक पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजी, कोई भी वोट फार्मूला नहीं है। ये एक भारत सरकार का अपना दर्शन है और पीएम मोदी ये करते हुए दिखते हैं, जो जिसका प्रतिफल आप देखते हैं ये फूलों से जिस तरह से लोग स्वागत कर रहे हैं। निखिल,
निश्चित तौर पर युवाओं के साथ जोड़ना, महिलाओं के साथ कनेक्ट, ये प्रधानमंत्री का एक, जिसको कहते हैं कि उनके व्यक्तित्व का एक बड़ा गुण रहा है, लोगों की नब्ज पकड़ना। आज का जो कार्यक्रम है उसमें भी जो मेगा युवम जो मेगा इवेंट है उसमें भी प्रधानमंत्री युवाओं के साथ जुड़ेंगे। अब से थोड़ी देर में उनके साथ संवाद कायम करेंगे। केरल का युवा किस तरह से आपको लगता है कि प्रधानमंत्री के साथ जुड़ाव महसूस कर रहा है, क्योंकि इस भीड़ में हम महिलाओं, बच्चों, बुजुर्गों सभी को देख पा रहे हैं विनोद जी। इसमें शायद जो सभी वर्गों के, सभी धर्मों के, सभी समुदायों के और सभी उम्र के भी लोग हैं, इसमें युवा भी बड़ी संख्या में है।
लेकिन हम लोग कई बार इसको अपने दूरदर्शन के प्रोग्राम में चर्चा किए हैं कि आज की तारीख में अगर आप देखेंगे कि इंडियन पासपोर्ट का जो है वो कितना क्रेज बढ़ा है। आप इसके बर्स में अगर आप पड़ोसी मुल्कों के पासपोर्ट को और इंडिया के पासपोर्ट से तुलना करें तो आज इंडिया के पासपोर्ट से आप देखें कि दुनिया में कम से कम 10 ऐसे कंट्री हैं उसके पैरेलल में।
मैं विनोद जी आपको रोकना चाहूंगा। इस वक्त जो प्रधानमंत्री पहुंच चुके हैं आयोजन स्थल पर।
The most popular youth icon of India, the architect of Vishwaguru Bharat, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji.
And this is the momentous occasion. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, a hearty welcome to you, sir. पूरे उत्साह और उमंग के साथ यहाँ इकट्ठे हुए केरल के नौजवानों की तरफ से आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर. It's such an honor and privilege to extend gracious welcome to you, and we would now like to present a memento as a gesture of welcome to our Honorable PM. I request Shri K. Surendran ji to please present the memento as a gesture of welcome. अरब सागर की रानी जो है कोची में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर. And here we welcome you with a memento. The land that has exquisite water bodies. So we have this little miniature boat. ഒരു കുഞ്ഞ് കട്ടുവെള്ളം സമ്മാനിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് നമ്മുടെ സ്വാഗതം അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. തുടർന്ന് ഒരു ചിത്രം നൽകുന്നതിനായി ശ്രീ പ്രഫുൽ കൃഷ്ണനെ ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു, ജനറൽ കൺവീനർ ഓഫ് യുവം. As someone who encourages artistic pursuits, we thought Honorable PM would appreciate this little painting that we have brought for sir. We request Prabhu ji to present the painting. നമ്മുടെ നാടിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഐഡന്റിറ്റി എന്ന് പറയാവുന്ന കഥകളിയുടെ ചിത്രമാണ് ബഹുമാന്യനായ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിക്ക് ഇവിടെ സമ്മാനിക്കുന്നത്. Some moments are surreal. ഇത് ഇന്ന് കൊച്ചിയിൽ വെച്ച് ഈ വേദിയിൽ നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നു എന്നത് ഓർക്കുമ്പോൾ, കുറച്ച് നാളുകൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ് തിരിച്ചു നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇൻസ്പിറേഷണൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള, ഗെയിം ചേഞ്ചിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മൊമെന്റ് ആയി ഇത് മാറും എന്ന് തന്നെ നമ്മൾ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. ഇനി അധ്യക്ഷ പ്രസംഗത്തിനായി ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നത് യുവം 2023യുടെ വർക്കിംഗ് ചെയർമാൻ, എന്നും നാടിന്റെ നാടിത്തുടിപ്പ് മനസ്സിലാക്കി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന പ്രിയങ്കരനായ ശ്രീ കെ സുരേന്ദ്രൻ. സ്വാഗതം സർ.
നമ്മുടെ बोलो भारत माता के, बोलो नरेंद्र मोदी जी के, बोलो भारत माता के, बोलो नरेंद्र मोदी जी के. ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ യുവം 2023 ഔപചാരികമായി ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്യുന്ന ലോകാരാധ്യനായ നമ്മുടെ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി, ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും ജനപ്രിയനായ ജനനായകൻ ആദരണീയനായ ശ്രീ നരേന്ദ്രമോദിജി അവർകൾ, കേന്ദ്രമന്ത്രി ശ്രീ വി മുരളീധരൻ അവർകൾ, മുൻ കേന്ദ്രമന്ത്രിയും രാജ്യസഭാംഗവുമായ ശ്രീ പ്രകാശ് ജാവ്ദേക്കർ ജി, രാജ്യസഭാംഗം ശ്രീ രാധാമോഹൻ അഗർവാൾ ജി, ലോക്സഭാംഗവും യുവമോർച്ചയുടെ അധ്യക്ഷനുമായ ശ്രീ തേജസ്വി സൂര്യ അവർകൾ, നമ്മുടെ മുൻ MP പ്രിയങ്കരനായ ശ്രീ സുരേഷ് ഗോപി അവർകൾ, രാജ്യം പത്മശ്രീ നൽകി ആദരിച്ച സർവാദരണീയനായ ശ്രീ MK കുഞ്ഞോൾ സാർ, ശ്രീ CI ഐസക് സാർ, ശ്രീമതി ശോഷമ്മ ഐപ്പ് സാർ, ശ്രീ SRD പ്രസാദ് സാർ, പ്രമുഖ ചലച്ചിത്ര നടിയും ദേശീയ അവാർഡ് ജേതാവുമായിട്ടുള്ള കുമാരി അപർണ ബാലമുരളി, സിനിമാ താരം ശ്രീമതി നവ്യ നായർ, പ്രിയങ്കരനായ ശ്രീ അനിൽ കെ ആന്റണി, പ്രമുഖ ഗായകനും സർവോപരി മലയാളത്തിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രിയങ്കരനായ ഗായകനായ ശ്രീ കെ ജെ യേശുദാസിന്റെ മകനുമായ ശ്രീ വിജയ് യേശുദാസ്, പ്രമുഖ ചലച്ചിത്ര താരം ശ്രീ ഉണ്ണി മുകുന്ദൻ, കേരളത്തിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ ട്രാൻസ്ജെൻഡർ ഡോക്ടർ പ്രിയങ്കരിയായ ഡോക്ടർ VS പ്രിയ, YUVAM 23 ജനറൽ കൺവീനർ CR പ്രഫുൽകൃഷ്ണൻ, ദേശീയ അവാർഡ് ജേതാവായിട്ടുള്ള കുമാരി.
All right, so the Prime Minister has reached the dais for the YUVAM program. You can see he's flanked by other BJP leaders as well. But of course, there's External Affairs MOS V Muralidharan also hails from Kerala, amongst other leaders. Their new joinee, Anil Antony, son of former Defence Minister from the Congress Party, is also part of the dais. So I'm sending out a message perhaps there as well. A lot of the talent that's shifting from the Congress to the BJP is shifting so because it is disillusioned. And here he's sharing dais with the Prime Minister in his home state a few days after joining the BJP. Let me also go across to my colleague Neetu, who's joining us. Neetu, what is the significance of this event? And, you know, what is this entire outreach about?
The YUVAM outreach is aimed at reaching out to the youngsters in the state. As we can see on the stage, when the Prime Minister came, Anil Antony was there. Apart from BJP leaders, the state president K. Surendran, MOS V Muralidharan. Apart from them, we saw people from different walks of life, like actor Navya Nair, actor Unni Mugundan, singer Vijay Yeshudas, and these were some of the people that we have seen on stage. So from various, these are all not people who have been vocal about the BJP, but you're seeing different people from different walks of life, from the movie industry, the common youngsters, all are there. They are trying to reach out through the youngsters of the state. And time and again saying that this is not a BJP program, but the Prime Minister's outreach to the youngsters of the state. So that is what they're trying to achieve here with the Prime Minister's image. They are trying to reach out to the youngsters in the state.
No, so that's an interesting thing. You're saying that the BJP is saying this is not technically a BJP event, but this is primarily the Prime Minister's outreach. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's correct. The BJP has been saying that this is not a BJP program, and they said that they will not be keeping up the BJP flags or anything inside. It will be the national flag that will be there. They are time and again trying to say this or pitch this as not as a BJP program, but as the Prime Minister's outreach to the youngsters of the state. Not just this, after this, he will be interacting with the church heads of at least 8 sects, and then you have tomorrow a big development push from the Prime Minister. So all these aspects will be covered in his visit today and tomorrow in Kerala, and with this the BJP is hoping that like in other states, they will be able to gain a foothold in Kerala also.
Okay, Neetu, thanks a lot for joining us. Let's listen in one more time.
ഈ രാജ്യത്തെ യുവതയുടെ റോൾ മോഡൽ. കഴിഞ്ഞ 9 വർഷത്തിനിടയിൽ ഈ രാജ്യത്ത് യുവാക്കൾക്കായി നരേന്ദ്രമോദിജി നൂതനമായ എത്രമാത്രം അവസരങ്ങളാണ് നൽകിയത്. ഒരു കാലത്ത് തൊഴിൽ അന്വേഷിച്ച് നടന്നിരുന്ന ഈ രാജ്യത്തെ യുവത ഇന്ന് ഏറ്റവും വലിയ തൊഴിൽ ദാതാക്കളായി, ഏറ്റവും വലിയ സംരംഭകരായി, ലക്ഷക്കണക്കിന് ആളുകൾക്ക് തൊഴിൽ കൊടുക്കുന്ന സംരംഭകരായി നരേന്ദ്രമോദിജി രാജ്യത്തെ യുവതയെ വാർത്തെടുത്തു. ആധുനികതയുടെ, ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യയുടെ ഈ വർത്തമാന കാലത്തെ വെല്ലുവിളികൾ നേരിടാൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ യുവതയെ പ്രേരിപ്പിച്ച് ലോകം മുഴുവൻ ഇന്ത്യ രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ യശസ്സും അഭിമാനവും ഉയർത്തിയ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയാണ് ലോകാരാധ്യനായ നരേന്ദ്രമോദിജി. പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, യുവം 2023 ആ ലോകാരാധ്യനായ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ ഇന്ത്യ രാജ്യം മുഴുവൻ നടക്കുന്ന ഈ അഭൂതപൂർവമായ വികസനത്തിന്റെ വിപ്ലവം എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മുടെ കൊച്ചു കേരളത്തിൽ, ദൈവത്തിന്റെ സ്വന്തം കേരളത്തിൽ സാധ്യതമാവാതെ പോകുന്നത്? ഈ മനോഹരമായ കേരളം, 44 നദികളുള്ള കേരളം, പ്രകൃതി കനിഞ്ഞ് അനുഗ്രഹിച്ച കേരളം, ഇവിടുത്തെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അഭ്യസ്തവിദ്യരായിട്ടുള്ള ചെറുപ്പക്കാരുള്ള കേരളം, മനുഷ്യശേഷിയുടെ കാര്യത്തിൽ മുൻപന്തിയിൽ നിൽക്കുന്ന കേരളം, എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് വികസന കുതിപ്പില്ലാതെ ഈ രാജ്യം മുഴുവൻ കുതിക്കുമ്പോഴും മലയാള മക്കൾ കിതയ്ക്കുന്നത്, കേരളം കിതയ്ക്കുന്നത്? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇവിടെ സംരംഭകർക്ക് രക്ഷയില്ലാത്തത്? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ തൊഴിലില്ലായ്മ വിസ്ഫോടനമുള്ള നാടായി നമ്മുടെ കേരളം മാറിയത്? എന്തുകൊണ്ട് അഴിമതി കൊടികുത്തി വാഴുന്ന?
All right. We're of course waiting for the Prime Minister to speak. We'll go back to that event as it is kick-starting in just a bit. Desh Ratan Nigam is also joining us, lawyer and leans towards the RSS. Desh Ratan Nigam, interesting pictures coming in. Of course, the Prime Minister's personal popularity not under doubt, even in a state like Kerala. But the main headline from this visit to Kerala this time around is the outreach to the Christian community. Why do you think the BJP is making the efforts that it is in Kerala to do this?
In fact, in Kerala, if you recall, there were a lot of conversion, issues taking place with Christian community, where they were being forced to convert into Islam. And they were also against the love jihad, which was going out there. They never believed it initially when Hindus were saying, but when it came to them, then they realized the state governments are not supporting them, and the state was actually not even doing anything to redress their grievances. And therefore, the only solution left for them, or the hope, was the BJP. And if you recall, Anil Antony joining, Tom Vadakkan joining, it had already, the trend had already started, because the only hope was BJP, because BJP's credentials are secular. They do talk of Hindutva, but it is all inclusive. And the Prime Minister going there, it clearly shows that the state, which was always very near yet far, is probably coming closer to BJP. And
no, but the numbers don't quite say so. Desh Ratan Nigam, just hold on with me, because, I have the data here of the Christian vote share for the BJP in the state of Kerala. 2009 Lok Sabha polls, where they did not do very well. The vote share from the Christians was 1%, so not surprising. In 2011 assembly polls, 1%. By 2014, they had increased the party's vote share in the central polls to 3%. And in 2016 assembly elections, their vote share amongst the Christians jumped to 10%. But in 2019 Lok Sabha and 2021 assembly polls, in fact, I was there in Kerala in the 2021 assembly polls, it dropped back to 2%. So they've seen a certain spike, and it has already come back to the pre-2014 levels. So what makes you so confident, or what makes the BJP so confident that they can regain that share and keep it, and keep a hold on the Christian vote bank?
Yes, certainly, as your data shows that it had gone down, but all the indicators and trends are that it is going up. The popularity is going up. The Prime Minister is being called out there. He's the ground on which he is speaking. The Kerala youngsters, especially Christians and from all communities, they are going to be there. And this slowly and slowly, as the 2024 elections are coming up, you will see that spike taking place. And it's a very good trend. And Prime Minister, certainly, when he goes to Kerala, it is not merely politics. He's telling the Keralites it's a politics of development.
True.
When he goes out there, he's inaugurating Vande Bharat Express, then Kerala Kochi Water Metro, and 3,200 crores worth of projects. So that is the politics of development. He does not go there merely to address rallies. So that's one difference.
Just one second. Desh Ratan Nigam, just hold on with me. I'm also joined by Father Faustin Lucas Lobo, who's director of the Pontifical Mission Societies in India. Sanal Edamaraku is Keralite citizen and Indian author. Let me go across to Father Faustin first up.
भारत माता की प्रिय मलयाली युवा सुहृतुक्कले नमस्कारम. वाइब्रेंट यूथ फॉर मॉडिफाइंग केरला के इस वाइब्रेंट आयोजन में मेरे सभी युवा दोस्तों का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन. कोई मिशन वाइब्रेंट तब बनता है जब उसके पीछे वाइब्रेंट यूथ की एनर्जी लगती है. और बात जब केरला की होती है तो इतना भव्य और सुंदर है कि यहां आकर ऊर्जा और बढ़ जाती है.
പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട യുവ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ നമസ്കാരം. കേരളത്തെ പരിവർത്തനം നടത്താൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന ഊർജ്ജസ്വലരായിട്ടുള്ള ചെറുപ്പക്കാരും യുവതി യുവാക്കന്മാർ, നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ. ഒരു ദൗത്യം ഊർജ്ജസ്വലമാകുന്നത് അതിന്റെ പിന്നിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന യുവതി യുവാക്കളുടെ കരുത്ത്, ആ കരുത്ത് അതിനോടൊപ്പം ചേരുമ്പോഴാണ്. അത് കേരളത്തിലെത്തുമ്പോൾ അത് കൂടുതൽ സുന്ദരമാകുന്നു, അത് കൂടുതൽ ഭവ്യമാകുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇവിടെ വരുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഊർജം ലഭിക്കുന്നു.
ये खुशी की बात है कि देश आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहा है और अभी ये जो कार्यक्रम हो रहा है सेक्रेड हार्ट कॉलेज में, वो भी अपना अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं और दोनों का इस प्रकार का मिलन अपने आप में एक बहुत ही शुभ संकेत है.
ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ നാട് സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിന്റെ 75 വർഷം ആഘോഷിക്കുകയാണ്. സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തിന്റെ അമൃതകാലം. ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ ഈ സമ്മേളിക്കുന്ന ഈ വിദ്യാലയവും അതേപോലെ 75 വർഷം ആഘോഷിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇത് രണ്ടും 75 വർഷം ആഘോഷിക്കുന്ന ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേരാൻ സാധിച്ചത് ഏറ്റവും സന്തോഷകരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്.
साथियों, आज जब हमारा देश अमृत काल की यात्रा शुरू कर रहा है, युवम के जरिए केरला के युवाओं का ये संकल्प बहुत अहम है. मैं आप सभी को इस भव्य आयोजन के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं. प्रदेश की टीम को भी बहुत बधाई देता हूं.
ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ നാട് അമൃതകാലത്തിലേക്കുള്ള യാത്ര, ആ യാത്ര ആരംഭിച്ചിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ആ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ കേരളത്തിലെ യുവാക്കൾ യുവം എന്നുള്ള പേരിൽ ഇവിടെ ഒരുമിച്ച് വരാൻ തീരുമാനിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത് ഏറ്റവും പ്രാധാന്യമർഹിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഈ തരത്തിൽ ഒരുമിച്ച് വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന ഇതിന്റെ സംഘാടനത്തിന് ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അഭിനന്ദനം നൽകി അർപ്പിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്.
साथियों, अभी कुछ सप्ताह पहले ही मैं केरला के एक 99 ईयर के युवा से मिला था. 99 ईयर के वो युवा है प्रसिद्ध गांधीवादी श्री वीपी अप्पू कुट्टन पोडुवाल. इन्हें भाजपा सरकार ने पद्म सम्मान देकर अपना गौरव बढ़ाया है. इसी तरह कलरियपट्टू गुरु श्री एसआरडी प्रसाद हो, इतिहासकार श्री आइसेक हो, या फिर पारंपरिक खेती को बढ़ावा देने वाले किसान श्री चेरू वायल रामन जी, केरला की हर प्रतिभा से हमें सीखने को मिलता है. प्रसिद्ध वैज्ञानिक नंबी नारायण जी से भी कितने ही युवा प्रेरित होते हैं.
സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, ഏതാനും ആഴ്ചകൾക്ക് മുൻപ് കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നുള്ള 99 വയസ്സുള്ള ഒരു യുവാവിനെ കാണാനുള്ള അവസരം എനിക്കുണ്ടായി. 99 വയസ്സുള്ള ആ യുവാവ് സുപ്രസിദ്ധനായിട്ടുള്ള ഗാന്ധിയൻ ശ്രീ VP അപ്പുക്കുട്ട പൊതുവാളായിരുന്നു. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ പത്മ അവാർഡ് നൽകി അദ്ദേഹത്തെ നാട് ആദരിച്ചു. അതേപോലെ ഇവിടെ വേദിയിൽ സന്നിഹിതനായിട്ടുള്ള കളരിപ്പയറ്റ് ഗുരു ശ്രീ SRD പ്രസാദ് ആണെങ്കിലും, ചരിത്രകാരനായിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീ CI ഐസക് ആണെങ്കിലും, അതല്ല പരമ്പരാഗത കൃഷി ആ മേഖലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ചെറുവയൽ രാമനാണെങ്കിലും, കേരളത്തിലെ ഓരോ പ്രതിഭയും അവരെല്ലാവരിൽ നിന്നും ധാരാളം കാര്യങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കാനുണ്ട്. സുപ്രസിദ്ധനായിട്ടുള്ള ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞൻ ശ്രീ നമ്പിനാരായണിൽ നിന്ന് പ്രേരണ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളുന്ന നിരവധി ചെറുപ്പക്കാർ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലുണ്ട്.
हमें याद रखना है जब भारत की परंपराओं और ज्ञान के पुनरोदय की जरूरत पड़ी तो केरला से ही आदि शंकराचार्य निकले। जब विकृतियां और रूढ़ियों के खिलाफ समाज को जागरूक करने की जरूरत हुई तो भी केरला से नारायण गुरु जैसे सुधारक आए।
നമുക്ക് നമ്മൾ ഓർമ്മിക്കേണ്ടതുണ്ട്, നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്ത് ഭാരതത്തിൽ പരമ്പരാഗതമായിട്ടുള്ള ആ അറിവിനെ പുനരുത്ഥാനം ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യം വന്നപ്പോ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ആദി ശങ്കരാചാര്യൻ ഭൂജാതനായി. നമ്മുടെ അനാചാരങ്ങൾക്കെതിരായിട്ട് കാലഹരണപ്പെട്ട സിദ്ധാന്തങ്ങളെ മുറുകെ പിടിക്കുന്നവർക്കെതിരായിട്ട് സമൂഹത്തിൽ ഉണർവുണ്ടാക്കേണ്ട ഒരു സാമൂഹ്യ നവോത്ഥാനം ഉണ്ടാക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുണ്ടായപ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ശ്രീനാരായണ ഗുരുവിനെ പോലെയുള്ള സാമൂഹ്യ പരിഷ്കർത്താക്കൾ അവർ ജന്മം കൊണ്ടു.
स्वतंत्रता के आंदोलन में अकम्मा चेरियन, के कुमार, कोयापल्ली केलप्पन, एन.के. दामोदरन नायन, स्वदेशी पद्मनाभ अयंगर जैसे अनगिनत सेनानियों ने मां भारती के लिए अपना सब कुछ न्यौछावर कर दिया। मुझे खुशी है उस परंपरा को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आज केरला का युवा एक बार फिर अपनी जिम्मेदारी निभाने के लिए तत्पर है।
സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമരത്തിന്റെ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ അക്കമ്മ ചെറിയനും കെ കുമാറും കെ കേളപ്പനും എൻ.കെ. ദാമോദരൻ നായരും സ്വദേശി പത്മനാഭൻ അയ്യങ്കാറും ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള നിരവധി സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യ സമര സേനാനികൾ അവരുടെ സർവസ്വവും നാടിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ത്യജിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഏറെ സന്തോഷം നൽകുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്, ആ പാരമ്പര്യത്തെ പിന്തുടർന്നുകൊണ്ട് കേരളത്തിലെ ചെറുപ്പക്കാർ, കേരളത്തിലെ യുവതി യുവാക്കൾ ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി അവരുടെ ഉത്തരവാദിത്തം തിരിച്ചറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ആ ഉത്തരവാദിത്തം നിറവേറ്റാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നു.
आज हर कोई ये कह रहा है कि 21वीं सदी भारत की सदी है। भारत वो देश है जिसके पास युवा शक्ति का भरपूर भंडार है। पहले सोच थी कि इस देश में कुछ बदलेगा ही नहीं, लेकिन अब सोच ये है कि हमारा ये देश अब पूरी दुनिया को बदल सकता है। आज का भारत स्टार्टअप इंडिया और स्टैंड अप इंडिया की बात करता है। आज का भारत आत्मनिर्भर भारत और डिजिटल इंडिया की बात करता है।
ഇന്ന് 21ാം നൂറ്റാണ്ട് ഭാരതത്തിന്റെ നൂറ്റാണ്ടാണെന്നാണ് ഇന്ന് എല്ലാവരും പറയുന്നത്. ഒരു കാലത്ത് നമ്മുടെ ഭാരതം യുവശക്തിയുടെ അനന്ത ഭണ്ഡാരമാണ്. ഒരു കാലത്ത് ആളുകൾ പറയുമായിരുന്നു ഈ നാട്ടിൽ ഒരു മാറ്റവും ഉണ്ടാകാൻ സാധ്യതയില്ല. പക്ഷെ ഇന്ന് ലോകം മുഴുവൻ പറയുന്നു, ഇന്ന് ലോകത്തെ മാറ്റിമറിക്കാനുള്ള ശേഷിയുള്ള നാടായിട്ട് ഇന്ന് ഭാരതം മാറിയിരിക്കുന്നു. ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ നാടിന്റെ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പിന്റെയും സ്റ്റാൻഡപ്പിന്റെയും പോലെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഇന്ന് ലോകത്തിന്റെ ചർച്ചയാണ്. ഇന്ന് ഭാരതം സ്വയം പര്യാപ്ത ഭാരതമായിട്ട്, ആത്മനിർഭർ ഭാരതമായിട്ട്, അതുപോലെ ഡിജിറ്റൽ ഇന്ത്യ ആയിട്ട്, ആ ഡിജിറ്റൽ ഇന്ത്യയെ കുറിച്ച് ഇന്ന് ലോകം ചർച്ച ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്.
एक समय था जब भारत की गिनती फ्रेजाइल 5 में होती थी, लेकिन अब हमें फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी कहा जा रहा है। ये आप सभी युवाओं ने ही करके दिखाया है और इसलिए मेरा सबसे ज्यादा भरोसा मेरे देश के युवाओं पर है, आप सभी नौजवानों पर है।
ഒരു കാലത്ത് ഇന്ത്യയെ കണക്കാക്കിയിരുന്നത് ഏറ്റവും ദുർബലമായിട്ടുള്ള 5 സമ്പദ് വ്യവസ്ഥകളിൽ ഒന്നായിട്ടാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഇന്ന് ഇന്ത്യ ഏറ്റവും വേഗതയിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് കുതിക്കുന്ന സമ്പദ്ഘടനയായിട്ടാണ് ഇന്ന് കണക്കാക്കപ്പെടുന്നത്. ഇത് സാധ്യമായിട്ടുള്ളത്, ഇത് സൃഷ്ടിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്, ഇത് സാധ്യമാക്കിയത് നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരുമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ എന്റെ വിശ്വാസം നിങ്ങളിലാണ്, നിങ്ങൾ ഈ യുവാക്കളിലാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ഓരോരുത്തരും നിങ്ങളിലാണ് ഞാൻ പ്രതീക്ഷകൾ അർപ്പിച്ചിട്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്.
मुझे खुशी है कि आज जब देश नए भारत का संकल्प लेकर कदम बढ़ा रहा है, आज जब भारत बड़ी वैश्विक जिम्मेदारियां निभा रहा है, तब देश और केरल का युवा भारत की इस विकास यात्रा को अपना नेतृत्व देने के लिए आगे आया है.
വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് നാടിന്റെ വികസനത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ദൃഢസങ്കല്പവുമായിട്ട് യുവാക്കൾ അടിവെച്ച് മുന്നോട്ട് നീങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇന്ന് ഭാരതം ആഗോള ദൗത്യം നിറവേറ്റാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പരിശ്രമത്തിലാണ്. ആ ദൗത്യം നിറവേറ്റാനുള്ള പരിശ്രമത്തിൽ ഈ രാജ്യത്തെ യുവാക്കൾ, കേരളത്തിലെ യുവാക്കൾ ഈ വികസനത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള യാത്രയിൽ സ്വയം നേതൃത്വപരമായിട്ടുള്ള പങ്ക് വഹിക്കാൻ തയ്യാറായി മുന്നോട്ട് വന്നിരിക്കുകയാണ്.
साथियों, G20 के प्रेसिडेंट के तौर पर आज भारत में लगातार इससे जुड़ी बैठकें हो रही है. यहां केरला में भी G20 की जो बैठकें हुई, उसे आप सभी के सहयोग ने और ज्यादा सफल बना दिया. मुझे खुशी है कि केरल के युवाओं ने इन बैठकों के आयोजन में बढ़ चढ़कर के हिस्सा लिया. कुमाराकोम में शेरपा की बैठक हो, तिरुवनंतपुरम में हेल्थ वर्किंग ग्रुप की बैठक हो, वर्किंग ग्रुप की अन्य बैठकें हो, केरला के लोगों के प्रोफेशनलिज्म ने इनमें बहुत मदद की.
ഇന്ന് G20യുടെ അധ്യക്ഷ പദവിയിൽ ഭാരതം അധ്യക്ഷ പദവി വഹിക്കുന്ന ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ നിരവധി സമ്മേളനങ്ങളും യോഗങ്ങളും രാജ്യമാസകലം ഇന്ന് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. കേരളത്തിലും അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള നിരവധി സമ്മേളനങ്ങൾ നടന്നു. ആ സമ്മേളനങ്ങളിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും പങ്കാളിത്തം, വലിയ തോതിലുള്ള പങ്കാളിത്തം ഉണ്ടായി എന്നുള്ളത് ഏറ്റവും സന്തോഷകരമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യമാണ്. അത് കുമരകത്ത് നടന്ന ഷെർപ്പ യോഗമാണെങ്കിലും, തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് നടന്ന ആരോഗ്യ പ്രവർത്തക സമിതിയാണെങ്കിലും, മറ്റ് നിരവധി പ്രവർത്തക സമിതി യോഗങ്ങളാണെങ്കിലും, കേരളത്തിലെ ചെറുപ്പക്കാർ, കേരളത്തിലെ ജനങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രൊഫഷണലിസം, ആ പ്രൊഫഷണലിസം നിങ്ങൾ അതിൽ വ്യക്തമായിട്ട് കാണിച്ചു.
और वैसे भी केरल के लोगों ने, उनका वैश्विक गतिविधियों के प्रति जो रुझान है वो अद्भुत है. केरला में G20 की होने वाली बैठकों के लिए मैं केरला के युवाओं को, उनका मैं हृदय से अग्रिम आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, क्योंकि आपके इस सहयोग के कारण दुनिया में भारत की छवि बनने में बहुत बड़ी मदद मिली है.
കേരളത്തിലെ ജനങ്ങൾ പൊതുവെ തന്നെ അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര തലത്തിൽ നടക്കുന്ന നിരവധി പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ, ആ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളോട് ചായ്വ് പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കുന്നവരാണ്, അതിനോട് ചേർന്ന് നിൽക്കുന്നവരാണ്. കേരളത്തിൽ വരാനിരിക്കുന്ന മറ്റ് G20 യോഗങ്ങൾ, ആ G20 യോഗങ്ങളിലും നിങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും വലിയ തോതിലുള്ള പങ്കാളിത്തം ഉണ്ടാകും എന്നെനിക്ക് ഉറപ്പുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ മുൻകൂറായിട്ട് തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും ആ കാര്യത്തിൽ നന്ദി പറയാൻ കൂടി ഞാൻ ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്.
आज बीजेपी और देश का यूथ एक ही वेवलेंथ और विजन को शेयर करते हैं. हम रिफॉर्म्स लाते हैं और मेरे युवा रिजल्ट ला करके देते हैं। ये सरकार और युवा के बीच एक घनिष्ठ पार्टनरशिप है। भाजपा ने इस दौर को यूथ लेड डेवलपमेंट का युग बना दिया है।
ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയും ഇന്നത്തെ സാഹചര്യം ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയും യുവാക്കളും ഒരേ കാഴ്ചപ്പാട് ആ കാഴ്ചപ്പാട് പങ്കുവെക്കുന്നവരാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഞങ്ങള് പരിവർത്തനങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിക്കുന്നു, നിങ്ങള് ഫലം സൃഷ്ടിക്കുന്നു. ഈ സർക്കാർ യുവാക്കളുമായിട്ട് ചേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന സർക്കാരാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ ഈ കാലഘട്ടത്തെ യുവാക്കളുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിലുള്ള വികസനം, ആ വികസനം സാധ്യതമാക്കുന്ന കാലഘട്ടമായിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ വിശേഷിപ്പിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്.
साथियों, पहले की सरकारों ने जहां हर सेक्टर में घोटाले किए, वहीं भाजपा की सरकार हर सेक्टर में युवाओं के लिए नए अवसर बना रही है। भाजपा की सरकार ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान चलाकर युवाओं को नए अवसर दिए हैं। भाजपा की सरकार ने वोकल फॉर लोकल के मंत्र से स्थानीय उत्पादन को बढ़ावा दिया है। भाजपा की सरकार ने स्पेस सेक्टर खोलकर युवाओं के लिए नए अवसर बनाए हैं। भाजपा की सरकार ने डिफेंस सेक्टर को खोलकर देश के युवाओं को नए मौके दिए हैं। भाजपा की सरकार ने पीएलआई स्कीम के माध्यम से देश में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बढ़ाई है। भाजपा की सरकार ने अपनी नीतियों से एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ाया है। आज देश में केरला में जो हाईवेज, हाईवेज, रेलवेज, वाटरवेज और एयरवेज बन रहे हैं, उससे भी रोजगार के लाखों मौके बन रहे हैं।
സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, മുൻകാലങ്ങളിലുള്ള സർക്കാരുകൾ അവരെല്ലാവരും കുംഭകോണങ്ങളാലാണ് അറിയപ്പെട്ടിരുന്നത്. അവരുടെ സംഭാവനകൾ കുംഭകോണങ്ങളായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ ഓരോ മേഖലയിലും യുവാക്കൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പുതിയ അവസരങ്ങൾ, ആ അവസരങ്ങളാണ് സൃഷ്ടിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ ഈ നാടിനെ സ്വയം പര്യാപ്തമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു നാടാക്കി മാറ്റിക്കൊണ്ട് അതിലൂടെ യുവാക്കൾക്ക് പുതിയ അവസരങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിച്ച സർക്കാരാണ്. ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ പ്രാദേശിക ഉൽപ്പന്നങ്ങൾ, ആ ഉൽപ്പന്നങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വോക്കൽ ഫോർ ലോക്കൽ, പ്രാദേശിക ഉൽപ്പന്നങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച് ശബ്ദമുയർത്താൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അതിന് പ്രചരണം നൽകിയ സർക്കാരാണ്. ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ ബഹിരാകാശ മേഖലയിൽ, ആ ബഹിരാകാശ മേഖലയിൽ അടക്കം യുവാക്കൾക്ക് അവസരങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ സർക്കാരാണ്. ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ പ്രതിരോധ മേഖലയിൽ, ആ മേഖലയിൽ പുതിയ അവസരങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് യുവാക്കൾക്ക് തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിച്ച സർക്കാരാണ്. ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ നാട്ടിൽ ഉൽപാദനം വർദ്ധിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് PLI സ്കീം നടപ്പിലാക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് ഉൽപാദനം വർദ്ധിപ്പിച്ച സർക്കാരാണ്. ഭാരതീയ ജനതാ പാർട്ടിയുടെ സർക്കാർ നയപരമായിട്ടുള്ള തീരുമാനങ്ങളിലൂടെ കയറ്റുമതി വർദ്ധിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള സർക്കാരാണ്. ഇന്ന് കേരളത്തിലാണെങ്കിലും രാജ്യമെമ്പാടുമാണെങ്കിലും നമ്മുടെ ദേശീയ പാതകൾ, നമ്മുടെ ഹൈവേ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ മേഖലകൾ, നമ്മുടെ റെയിൽവേ, നമ്മുടെ ജലപാതകൾ, അതുപോലെ നമ്മുടെ വ്യോമഗതാഗത മേഖല, അതിലെല്ലാം തന്നെ ലക്ഷക്കണക്കിന് തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങൾ, ആ തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങളാണ് ഇന്ന് സൃഷ്ടിക്കപ്പെട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്.
केरला के युवा जानते हैं कि आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का किसी भी राज्य के विकास में कितना बड़ा योगदान होता है। केरला में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सुधरेगा तो यहां रोजगार के नए मौके बनेंगे, यहां नई इंडस्ट्री आएगी, यहां टूरिज्म बनेगा। कन्नूर, कोची में एयरपोर्ट हो या फिर थिरुवनंतपुरम में एयरपोर्ट का विकास, ये सभी इसी सोच के साथ किया जा रहा है। कोची मेट्रो पर भी केंद्र सरकार बहुत तेजी से काम करवा रही है। कल से केरला में पहली वंदे भारत ट्रेन भी चलने जा रही है।
കേരളത്തിലെ ചെറുപ്പക്കാർക്കറിയാം നമ്മുടെ ആധുനികമായിട്ടുള്ള അടിസ്ഥാന സൗകര്യങ്ങളുടെ വികസനം, ആ വികസനം നാടിന്റെ വികസനത്തിന് എത്രമാത്രം പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ളതാണ് എന്ന്. അത് കേരളത്തിലെ അടിസ്ഥാന സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ വികസിക്കുന്നതിലൂടെ നിരവധി തൊഴിലവസരങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിക്കപ്പെടും. ഇവിടെ പുതിയ വ്യവസായങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാകും. ഇവിടെ വിനോദസഞ്ചാര മേഖല വളരും. കണ്ണൂരിലെയും കൊച്ചിയിലെയും എയർപോർട്ടുകളാണെങ്കിലും തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തെ എയർപോർട്ടിന്റെ വികസനമാണെങ്കിലും ഇതെല്ലാം ഈ ചിന്തയോടുകൂടി ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. കൊച്ചി മെട്രോയിലും കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാർ വളരെ വേഗത്തിൽ തന്നെ ആ മെട്രോ വികസിപ്പിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ നടത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. നാളെ മുതൽ കേരളത്തിന്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ വന്ദേ ഭാരത് തീവണ്ടി, ആ തീവണ്ടിയും നാളെ മുതൽ ഓടിത്തുടങ്ങാൻ പോവുകയാണ്.
साथियों, केरल की अर्थव्यवस्था में ब्लू इकोनॉमी, फिशरीज का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। फिशरीज सेक्टर से जुड़े हमारे भाई बहनों की ईज ऑफ लिविंग भी हमारी सरकार की प्राथमिकता है। फिशरीज सेक्टर के मॉडर्नाइजेशन पर हमारी सरकार बहुत ध्यान दे रही है। प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना के माध्यम से केरला में भी करीब करीब 800 करोड़ रुपए की मदद स्वीकृत की गई है। नए फिशिंग हार्बर बनाना हो, पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, गरीब मछुआरों को आर्थिक मदद हो, भाजपा की केंद्र सरकार हर संभव काम कर रही है। यह हमारी ही सरकार है जिसने केंद्र में फिशरीज के लिए अलग मंत्रालय बनाया। ये हमारी ही सरकार है जो किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड के लाभार्थियों के दायरे में मछुआरे भाई बहनों को भी लाई।
കേരളത്തിന്റെ സമ്പദ്ഘടനയിൽ
most mischievous operations launched by the ISI, whereby they planted a person here, they hoping that it was whether it could create a kind of situation there, which was there in mid-80s. And I'm happy to say that the Punjabis have sort of given we have not stood by it, and we have given a proper answer to Pakistan. But again, having said this thing, this person has been arrested, but again, it's not the end of the road. This guy was hiding somewhere for 35 days. Somebody was feeding him. Somebody was giving him money. Somebody was choreographing, like I said, Pakistan has been choreographing. What was the channel? That channel needs to be exposed, and all these persons who were in cahoots with this particular person, they need to be brought to the books, and proper legal action needs to be taken about it. And lastly, as I think General Sav was saying, yes, it's about the time where the governments, not only of Punjab, but the central government also, they need to take care of the problems that we have in Punjab, on which this guy tried to cash upon. This is drug addiction. This is youngsters going abroad. This absence of jobs. These are some of the burning issues on which the state government and the central government will have to monitor very closely and find some sort of answer to it.
And as far as whether this marks the end of the Khalistani propaganda that we were seeing in Punjab, at least in the last several months, ever since Amritpal Singh came from Dubai, he wanted to position himself as Bhindranwale 2.0. You know, many would say that if you walk like a duck, if you quack like a duck, if you look like a duck, you would want to believe you're a duck. But it was far from that as far as Bhindranwale and Amritpal Singh is concerned, isn't it?
Poonam, Jai Hind, you're very right. But let's not declare a victory at halfway stage. It's a very significant milestone. There is a sense of relief. There is this confidence that we have drawn that he did not have any following. Nobody has come out to support him in large numbers. He just found shelter with few people. So to that extent, the idea of creating further avatars of Bhindranwale has taken, has hit a roadblock, has suffered a setback. And it is not an easy to replicate model. That is a good gain. And Punjab police has been mature. It is been sensitive about handling the religious places. So it's not created a situation where things would have got out of control. Whether they should have taken this much of time to apprehend him is a different issue that can be analyzed. But now let me get to the crux of the problem. The problem is ISI runs a K2 cell. That cell is tasked for fomenting trouble in Kashmir and for Khalistan cause. And they are using drones for sending explosives, weapons, and all kind of nefarious activities they are attempting.
Yes.
There is a certain amount of synergy between the state police and BSF. Today, a joint flag march was taken out in Moga. I commend that. Taking Amritpal to Dibrugarh and confining him with 8 other associates of his.
I still remember post-match presentation. I was down there along with my teammates and thinking that this is the last time I'm standing with the team. It's never going to happen again in my life. I'm never going to walk on the field as an active Indian cricketer. And I was in the dressing room. I said, if we have a press conference on the 6th morning, so 5-day test match, then we finish this function, and we had organized a press conference on 6th morning. So I said 6th day, by then, 2 days would have passed. Right now, people would want to know my views and all that. So I made a request there. I said, is it possible that I speak for some time rather than answering 2-3 questions? And I said, the field is yours. You can go and speak for as long as you want. I still don't feel like I'm 50, honestly speaking. I'd much rather put it differently. 25-year-old with 25 years of experience sounds better. It's been a wonderful journey. I have no complaints, no regrets. 24 years that I got a chance to play for a country has been a huge honor and a dream come true. That is all I wanted in life. I did not want to be anything else. From the age of 10, I started chasing my dream, and then to be able to do that for 24 years, couldn't have asked for more.
Good evening, hello and welcome to News Epicenter. I'm Anusha Soni. BJP is making an all-out attempt to expand its base in the state of Kerala ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. You have Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's on a 2-day visit to the southern state, and this is to lay foundation stone of various development projects. Development is the narrative that the BJP wants to take to the people of Kerala. Now, Prime Minister's visit to the state is a bit to strengthen BJP's efforts to make inroads into the Christian vote bank of the state, as the Prime Minister is scheduled to meet the heads of various churches and various religious leaders who come from the Christian community. Prime Minister is also scheduled to flag off Kerala's first Vande Bharat Express. Now, after performing well in the 3 northeastern Indian states that went to poll just last month, BJP is now turning the focus to the south. The 5 southern states have a total of about 129 Lok Sabha seats. BJP holds just about 29 of them, most of them from Karnataka. Now, bolstered by its excellent electoral show in the northeast, the BJP is looking at more voters from the south to give a thumbs up in its bid to form the third-term NDA government. We're talking about the big battle of 2024. But can BJP make inroads in Kerala? Can BJP breach the last bastion of the left parties? Our focus on News Epicenter tonight. Well, it's the ambitious southern project of the BJP. The state of Kerala is something that the RSS, the BJP have been working in close tandem to expand its reach. And if you look at the voting percentage in the state of Kerala, it has significantly gone up for the BJP. Still not up to the mark, but yes, they have made improvement. The southern state of Kerala has proved to be unreachable or unbreachable for the party in many ways. BJP has no Lok Sabha member from the state of Kerala. It eyes to break the LDF-UDF duopoly, if you may call that. The ground opens up for the BJP due to decline of regional Kerala Congress. A key leader passed away, and after that there has been a political vacuum that the BJP believes it can fill. Minorities make up nearly half of Kerala population, including Muslims and Christian. And the Christian vote bank is something that BJP would want to talk about. The ambitious southern push, as I was earlier talking about. Kerala, the state of Kerala, is the last standing bastion of the left parties in India. And with a weakening opposition in the Congress party, the BJP thinks it can be the alternative to the left parties in the state. The BJP is also reaching out to the Christian minorities. As we told you, the Prime Minister's itinerary, there are various Christian leaders, and it's not happening for the first time. This has been a consistent effort for the last few years from the side of the BJP. The party is cornering left over alleged radicalization of the youth. If you talk about the key issues that the BJP as a political party has raised in the national discourse, in the political discourse, it's about radicalization, it's about love jihad, illegal conversions, various issues that concern the religious issues in the state, and more importantly the Hindu or the Hindutva politics in the state. The northeast sweep and the kind of results that the BJP was able to get in the northeastern states, BJP wants to replicate that performance in the southern states as well. Will it be able to do that? What are the various impediments that lie in the way? And this ambitious project, to what extent can it become a reality, and how soon? Aman Sharma is joining us live, our editor for the digital team. Aman, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. When we talk about the ambitious project of the BJP vis-a-vis Kerala, the voting percentage clearly has come up. I think in a couple of constituencies, they finished second in the last elections that had happened. So they do have some hopes. When it comes to reaching out to these Christian minorities, what has the BJP done in the last few years? To what extent are they successful?
I think Kerala remains a very, very crucial state for the BJP as well as for the Congress. If we see the last elections of 2019, the Congress alliance swept Kerala. Congress itself won 15 out of the 20 seats, and BJP could not win a single seat, though BJP's vote share did touch about 12 to 13%. Now, this is one state where BJP wants to make inroads. BJP wants to open its account to also get rid of this image that, beyond Karnataka, it cannot grow in any southern state. That is, I think, the effort of Mr. Modi. And when Mr. Modi goes there, if you see how he's dressing, the adoption of the South Indian culture, in a way, the roadshow that he held today, he walked during the roadshow, and many a time we've seen Mr. Modi doing a roadshow in his vehicle, but today we saw him walking the streets in Kerala. All these are signals, and also I think, Anusha, going ahead, the BJP is, besides reaching out obviously to the Christian minorities, he's meeting many Christian church leaders today in Kerala. He's met on Easter also, we saw him going to the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Delhi here. Also the development push. So PM Modi is spending 2 days in Kerala. He's inaugurating projects worth rupees 3,200 crore. The water metro, the first Vande Bharat, the various railway lines. He also spoke to the youth in Kerala. In a way, the BJP is trying to put forward this thing that, they are going for a development push in Kerala. They are reaching out to the youth, to the new voter, the first time voter, which they want to attach that voter to the appeal of Mr. Modi.
Right. If we talk about to what extent the BJP has been successful, I remember, Raman, this entire issue of love jihad, radicalization, the Hadia case, the infamous Hadia case that had come to Supreme Court of India, and there was a judgment that had come in from the High Court, and even in that particular judgment, there was a judge who spoke, a Christian judge who spoke about radicalization and how these are various issues. When it comes to these controversial issues like love jihad, radicalization, illegal conversions, political killings, these are the issues that the BJP has been trying to push to the political forefront in the state, if I'm correct.
See, also, these are the issues, but the Congress, if you speak to the Congress, they always say that in southern states, the Hindutva has a very limited appeal. They keep on pointing to us that, North India states are different, but the southern states, it doesn't really work, But what, the ban on like the PFI, for the example, which has been done by the union government, is this an issue that the BJP is banking on in southern states, especially in states like Kerala and Karnataka, where the PFI was very active, and there have been repeatedly cases coming from Kerala where, the terror links of PFI were exposed. BJP trying to put forward that thing that along with development, it stands for nationalism, it stands for anti-terrorism, and that is why the entry of BJP in states like Kerala is important, because it gives a new narrative, it gives a new option, especially to young voters, and to wean away youth from the path of radicalization and come on the path of development that the rest of the country is working on under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP.
All right, Aman, thank you so much for putting all of that into context. Let me open this question to our guest as well. Sanal Edamaruku, who's a resident of Kerala and also an author, is joining us on the broadcast. We also have Lavanya Balal from the Congress Party with us on the show. Lavanya, let's begin with you. The BJP has an ambitious plan. They are yet to make huge electoral inroads, but the Prime Minister sounds that bugle and says that it will take us some time, but one day we will form government in the state of Kerala. Development narrative is something that the BJP is taking. And many experts argue that it's a weakening Congress that has perhaps opened this forefront for the BJP to make these kind of inroads. I think there's a problem with Lavanya's connection. We'll just try and fix that. Sanal, in the meanwhile, I'd like to come to you. How do you see the Prime Minister's visit and the narrative that he's put out?
Primarily, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a great appeal. In Kerala also, like any other part of India.
Yeah.
But the new political strategy to make an alliance with the Christian groups, especially by making an alliance with the clergy of the Christian community, gives a wrong signal to the whole Kerala community. Because Kerala is not a place where vote banks are decided by communities. No single community or any community per se can decide the votes of the people belonging to that community. For example, there is a Christian political party in Kerala, Kerala Congress. They could hardly get more than 5% of the votes by themselves.
Right.
And the number of people who are churchgoers in the Christian church, 18% of the whole population are Christians, but the churchgoers are less than 20%. And those people who follow what the clergy says would be still low. It's a very different scenario, whether they will be influenced by clergy or caste leaders. So far
Sanal,
as Kerala is
some
concerned.
experts argue that the death of veteran Christian political satrap K.M. Mani, that opened a kind of a political vacuum left after his death, and the decimation or the decline of the Kerala Congress, which is predominantly about the Kerala's Christian politics. That is one reason why BJP thinks that it has the room, it has the political room and a vacuum to perhaps encroach into, to make some kind of inroads into the state, and that's why it is very strategically reaching out to the Christian minorities. To what extent do you think this has been successful? Hindutva, as my colleague Aman was pointing out, has a very limited appeal when it comes to the state of Kerala. Would you agree with that analysis? Sanal,
is
yes.
question to me?
Yes, that's for you. Yes, Sanal, that question is for you. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay, if you're asking me, my position, as I've been very closely watching the Kerala political scene for decades now, I can very clearly say that the political appeal of a political party, for example, BJP, when it speaks about development, that has its impact. That will have its impact also. Any political party that speaks about development, about amity of people beyond religion, those kind of things will have currency in Kerala. But if you see the influence of the clergy or any caste leaders, there is no influence. It's a wrong understanding about Kerala's polity in a way. On the other side, for example, the Vande Bharat, the train, for example, that will have an impact on Kerala because development is what Kerala people are looking forward for. And on the other side, probably what would help would be a kind of image that BJP has in Kerala is a kind of intolerance towards other communities than Hindu community. If that image is taken off, generally, on a national perspective, that will have an impact on Kerala. That will be generally good for BJP also, in general, I feel.
In your understanding, reaching out to the religious clergy is not exactly the ideology or the strategy which is going to work for the BJP in this state. I also have, my other guest joining us on the broadcast, Kamru Chaudhary, who's a Congress leader, is also with us on the show. Lavanya Balal is also with us on the broadcast. Lavanya, first to you, how do you see the Prime Minister's visit? As I was talking, to Sanal as well, not the first time that BJP is making the attempts for a wider reach to the people of the state. Last time, the Saffron Party finished second in 7 assembly seats. And in many other seats, the BJP had got enough votes. In fact, their vote share has been consistently coming up. Do you sense a competition here?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Not at all. BJP is not a competition at all for the Congress or any other party in Kerala state. One has to remember, the Kerala voters are very mature, politically mature voters. So a lot of things that may fly for different parties in other states will not work in Kerala. And see, also the Kerala voters, because they are a very mature set of voters, they're very aware of what happened with the BJP leaders and Kerala time and again. If you look at Amit Shah ji's speech or Yogi Adityanath ji's speech, and also our Prime Minister, they have demonized Kerala for multiple reasons, multiple times. And this is something the Malayali people will never, the Malayalam speaking people will never forgive or forget. Okay. And also when the floods happened in Kerala, if you look at the previous election results, it was a very clear indication how unhappy these people are with the way BJP treated and the central government treated Kerala during the flood situation that happened in Kerala. It was a very, very bad situation. So, in states like Kerala, where I've worked extensively and I have relatives, I've lived in Kerala. So I am aware that, the political knowledge and awareness of this people is very high compared to rest of India. And they are people who hold their elected representatives accountable. So it's not going to be an easy thing for BJP in Kerala. And I did see our Pradhan Mantriji's Prime Minister's roadshow today, or he was walking. All those kind of adulations is not going to make any difference to a Kerala voter at all. Thank you.
Well, these are initial inroads, Lavanya, that the BJP says it's making slowly and steadily. Let's see how much of it is really successful in the days to come. Right now, the electoral footprint is absent when it comes to the BJP in the state of Kerala, as you point out. I want to once again cut across to Sanal, who is with us on the broadcast. Sanal, development is something, of course, that Kerala looks forward to. There are various local issues as well, which the BJP, touting itself as the double-engine ki sarkar, as the government at the union, at the centre, can really solve. The import of rubber. There are various other agrarian issues that concern parts of Kerala, which the BJP has been trying to talk through. Other than the Hindutva agenda, are there any key development issues that the BJP at the centre has been able to address for the people of Kerala, which helps them reach out to a larger electorate?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
If you see, vis-a-vis what for example, one of the major representatives of the Christian community would be using this kind of a situation in, for example, the price of rubber or the port, the Vizhinjam port, these kind of local issues. The Vizhinjam port issue, which the church has taken up, once they supported it, but suddenly they made a political plank on that. Against whatever position they have taken and mobilized a lot of people under the clergy people. So in a way, they tried to take spirituality off, to their churches and went to other issues and tried to make a political vote plank, not on the basis of religion, but on other issues. And look at the rubber issue. Bishop Plambani, what he said was, if the price of rubber is raised to rupees 300 per kilogram, then the BJP will have one parliament seat at least from Kerala, which means as if he's speaking on behalf of the rubber cultivators. He's not a rubber cultivator himself. Of course, church has a major interest in the rubber plantation because church itself is a plantation owner. In a way, the Catholic Church in Kerala, apart from other church, or the Syrian, the Syro-Malabar Church in Kerala, if you take it as a financial institution, it's one of the richest financial institutions in India. But the people belonging to that church, they are just a cliently of this corporate empire as they are running it. So the Bishop Pamplani was speaking about the price of rubber. he was not a rubber plantation cultivator, or he was not a farmer at all, but he was speaking as a bishop in a bishop's attire and speaking for the rubber cultivators as if he can decide the number of votes that BJP would get. Interestingly, in Trichur, I mean, one of the other centers of the Catholic Church, the bishop there recently made a public statement that in last 15 years,
let me quickly take that point to let me take that point to Kamru Chaudhary as well. We also have Daniel Francis, who's a political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. Kamru Chaudhary, when it comes to this development narrative, interesting points being made by Sanal there. When it comes to the rubber plantation issue or various other issues that the local people want the union government to address, and something how a church continues to play a very important role in it. When it comes to Hindu identity, which in many ways has been very crucial for the BJP in its socio-political and cultural narrative, is this a narrative that can find resonance in the state of Kerala? Is that the political ground in the state? Or you think that there are completely different nuances and calculations that the party needs to make if it wants to make a footprint in the state?
No, I completely agree with you when you say that BJP is trying to find an identity, identity politics in the state of Kerala. But in fact, you see the states of Assam, for an example, or the recent statements or the outreach of the RSS to the Muslim community in India, you will find that there is a stark contrast to their ideological position vis-a-vis North India, South India, and the Eastern India. Why I say this? You see, they have invented a so-called subgroup within the Muslim community called the Pasmanda community of Muslims, which in fact is a non-existence, because the very thought of a caste system existing within Islam is non-existent. Secondly, you see, in Northeast, you have got Hemanta Biswa Sharma, one of the stalwarts of the Bharatiya Janata Party. When he says that I do not need the minority votes, we as a BJP, we do not need Muslim votes. But then again, he goes on to divide the Muslim community into Goria Muslims or the Assamese-speaking Muslims to the Bengali-speaking Muslims. This is a division they have created in Assam based on the religion. Now you come to the state of Kerala, there are at least 4 dominant churches out there in Kerala, which I believe I am correct if not wrong: Roman Catholic, the Orthodox, the Oriental Orthodox, and the Church of the East, and all this. These differences that is being tried to create by the Bharatiya Janata Party in Kerala also needs to be understood in the context of the 130 seats that are there in 2024 from South India.
Well, I disagree. I disagree with you, Kamru, on one point, that I don't think any political party can create caste identities in this country. The unfortunate reality is that whether it's the majority community or the minority community of Muslims, caste is a reality. In theology, in theory, it may not exist in a certain religion, but the real politique is that it exists in reality. And those schisms, those divisions are not created by political parties. It can be hardened and exploited for their own political interests. That's my limited point. But I want to bring in Daniel also into the discussion. Daniel, when it comes to the development narrative that the Prime Minister wants to take to the people, this is also an attempt of the BJP and their core ideology to bridge the North-South divide. And this divide, historically, ever since its inception, BJP has been talking about. Do you think that the BJP so far has been able to take this message? And the grammar, the political grammar for the state of Kerala is going to be very different from different southern states, and of course starkly different from the north of the country where BJP dominates. Daniel.
Kerala is certainly a very difficult state for BJP to make its inroads, and by and large in the south, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, these are states that BJP had not had, cadre or even leaders that could get them the kind of votes. But more than that, they did not have the game plan as such, because votes in Kerala in particular are both for a particular caste and a particular group based on religious lines. We have to agree that we have to accept that. But in Kerala, the left and the Congress dominate the politics of Kerala, and they have stalwarts sitting there, and they dominate the vote banks and the political scene of Kerala. That is very true. But one is that BJP is in its ambition mode, and they will definitely try to woo the voters of Kerala. and they are making all the attempts to do it, and hence today's outreach that we see that the Prime Minister is doing in Kerala. How much of it will we succeed or not succeed? BJP has taken a lot of time to build its organizations, and particularly in the states that now stand as BJP bastions, with and without power. And Kerala is one state that they are building.
Daniel, there are 2 points that I want you to speak more about. There are strong linguistic divides which exist culturally and politically as well in this country, and the BJP, as part of its core ideology, has always spoken about bridging these linguistic divides. According to them, the regional parties have harped on them, and we have some kind of a national identity. We have seen the language politics that has happened. The other facet of it is that development in other states mean completely different things when it comes to the healthcare infrastructure, when it comes to roads. But Kerala, compared to various other states in the country, is much, much better when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to connectivity, when it comes to various other things. So when you talk about development per se in the state of Kerala, the BJP also will have to take a notch up. Daniel, first to you, and then I'll go to Sanal and Lavanya.
No, I think that Kerala has a altogether different language of development. It's not the same language that you can speak in Gujarat or you can speak in any other state. The development models, as you call it, because you see that the political culture of Kerala is very left-oriented and workers-oriented and rights-oriented political culture. So, first of all, BJP as a party in Kerala is seen as a party which is very North Indian in its nature. Its leaders are very North Indian in nature. BJP never had a national leader from Kerala or, had that kind of presence. So, to sell the same model of development is very difficult. If you really see the political agenda of the Congress and political agenda of the left in Kerala, it's more or less the same. We cannot criticize the development of Kerala because it's a completely different development model. Like, for example, we saw during the COVID, that Shailaja teacher, who was the health minister of the state. Health minister. She had a very different approach from the other health ministers in the country, and she did a fantabulous job. So it is a very different lexicon that this. Of course, Prime Minister's personal charisma and personal appeal has a weight, and he's trying to crack this.
Okay, I have last 1 minute on the debate. Lavanya, I want to bring you in. It is often accused by the BJP that, especially in the state of Kerala, there is no real opposition. The Congress party is working in close tandem with the left parties, and the real issues of the people are not being highlighted. Multiple issues that they have put forward in the public domain. To what extent would you like to disagree with that, with that criticism that has come in for your party, and substantially so? Do you believe that the Congress party has been able to serve as a real opposition in the state? Lavanya, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Absolutely. Congress is the primary opposition in the state of Kerala, and BJP has no foothold there. If you look at the previous elections, where is BJP? BJP is nowhere. Like I said, like a couple of other panelists were saying, the BJP's mode of communication or its entire communication is not working with now.
Lavanya, on that point, I'd have to conclude this debate here. Thank you all for joining us this evening and putting your point across. We're cutting across to the poll-bound state of Karnataka, and you have Home Minister Amit Shah, who's leading the poll campaign, addressing a press conference. Let's listen in.
और सवाल मैं कांग्रेस को भी पूछना चाहता हूं. हमारे यहां से कुछ एक दो नेता गए तो उनके मुंह में पानी छूट रहा है. भाई कांग्रेस पार्टी ने लिंगायतों के लिए क्या किया? इतने इतिहास में दो ही मुख्यमंत्री बनाए, दोनों को अपमानित कर निकाल दिया. एक को श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी ने निकाला और दूसरे को एयरपोर्ट पर अपमानित कर, मैं पाटिल साहब की बात कर रहा हूं, उनको राजीव गांधी ने निकाला. कांग्रेस को तो ये बोलने का अधिकार ही नहीं. और भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने हमेशा सभी जातियों का सम्मान करने का और समाहित कर सबको साथ रखने का प्रयास किया है.
सर एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था सर, आपने पीएफआई के बारे में बात किया था और एसडीपीआई जो है हम देखते आ रहे हैं कि पीएफआई और एसडीपीआई एक पॉलिटिकल आर्म जैसी है और यहाँ पर कैंपेन कमेटी चीफ एमपी पाटिल ने भी ये कहा था और फॉर्मर डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर जी परमेश्वर जो है उन्होंने भी ये बताया था कि कांग्रेस चाहती है कि एसडीपीआई उनको सपोर्ट करे, लेकिन बार बार ये दोहराया जा रहा है कि एसडीपीआई और पीएफआई एक ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जैसी है और यहाँ पर इलेक्शन लड़ रही है। आपको क्या लगता है इसके?
देखिए, कांग्रेस पार्टी पहले पीएफआई का भी समर्थन लेती थी, अब पीएफआई पर बैन लग गया। एसडीपीआई एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है तो वो मैदान में है चुनाव के, कांग्रेस इसका समर्थन मांग रही है, इसमें हमें तो कोई आश्चर्य नहीं हो रहा है। इनके लिए सुरक्षित कर्नाटक महत्व का मुद्दा नहीं है, चुनाव जीतना महत्व का मुद्दा है, परंतु भारतीय जनता पार्टी कभी भी इस प्रकार की ताकतों के साथ हाथ नहीं मिलाएगी, इतना ही हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ओर से कह सकते हैं।
Sir, you mentioned about Parivarvad of JDS. Could you please elaborate more on it? Because you said you oppose Parivarvad, but what we see in the list announced by BJP, it is not much different from what JDS is doing.
जरा भी ऐसा नहीं है भाई। जेडीएस में देवगौड़ा जी के बाद पार्टी के नेता, पार्टी के अध्यक्ष कुमार स्वामी जी बने। हमारे यहाँ अध्यक्ष भी बदलते रहते हैं, मुख्यमंत्री भी बदल रहते हैं। मुख्य परिवारवाद के आधार पर अध्यक्ष और मुख्यमंत्री कभी तय नहीं होते, बहुत फर्क है। और जेडीएस के परिवार में कोई एक तो बताओ जो चुनाव न लड़ता हो, शायद एक आधा कोई बचा होगा।
Sir, what I understand from Parivarvad is that you don't give ticket to the son, the mother, brother or daughter-in-law or son-in-law.
नहीं, मगर उनको हमने पार्टी नहीं सौंप दी है, पार्टी अलग हाथों में। आप भी समझ रहे हो, मगर मैं आपसे बहस नहीं कर सकता। भारतीय जनता पार्टी हमेशा मुख्य व्यवस्था में परिवारवाद के खिलाफ है। कई जगह पे हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के परिवार के लोग लड़ते ही, डजंट मीन कि हम परिवारवाद करते हैं। पार्टी के अध्यक्ष भी अलग हैं, हमारे मुख्यमंत्री भी अलग।
So giving ticket to a son
हम
or
बहस नहीं कर
mother is not
सकते।
परिवारवाद.
आप सवाल पूछ सकते हो, बहस नहीं कर सकते।
Sir, I'm just asking you a clarification.
मैंने दे दिया ना।
Sir, with regard to Mahadai,
आप क्या बताती हैं?
सर, एक प्रश्न है, किसानों की बात की, बीजेपी जिस तरीके से किसानों के लिए काम कर रही है, आपने बताया अभी कि कैसे डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर जा रहा है, लेकिन राहुल गांधी आज शुगर के किसानों से मिले थे और उसके बाद उन्होंने बीजेपी पर हमला करते हुए कहा कि बीजेपी सिर्फ 2-3 परिवार के लिए ही काम कर रही है, बड़े लोगों के लिए। किसान मजदूर का इनसाइट आज मुझे पता चला है और सभी लोग प्रतिबद्ध है कि वो हमारे साथ आएंगे। इस पर आपका क्या उत्तर है सर?
देखिए, 54 लाख किसानों को हम हर साल 10,000 रुपया डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर के तहत इनके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर करें। अगर राहुल गांधी इससे डिस्प्यूट करे तो हम इसका जवाब दें। अगर राहुल गांधी जी ये समझते हैं कि 54 लाख किसान 2-3 परिवार के हैं, तो अब आपको राहुल जी को सवाल पूछना चाहिए जब वो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे।
सर, जगदीश शेट्टर और वगैरह बीजेपी गेस्ट लॉस है सर, वो रीजन भी पूछ रहे थे।
कोई लॉस नहीं होना है। जगदीश शेट्टर स्वयं चुनाव हारेंगे। हुबरी ने हमेशा भारतीय जनता पार्टी को वोट दिया है, हुबरी ने किसी व्यक्ति को नहीं दिया है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता एक मुस्त है, एक झूठ है और हुबरी के अंदर निश्चित रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुनाव जीतेगी।
सर, वो कह रहे हैं कि अमित शाह जी को, मोदी जी को ये पता नहीं है कि ग्राउंड लेवल पे क्या हो रहा है। जो बीच में जो लोग हैं वो उन्होंने ठीक तरह से हाईकमांड को नहीं बताया कि जगदीश शेट्टर को क्यों निकाला जा रहा है।
नहीं, बहुत सारे लोगों को निकाला गया है, अकेले शेट्टर जी को नहीं निकाला गया है।
सर,
रीजन इनको बता दिया गया है।
सर, दिस इज द सेकंड इलेक्शन सर, ये दूसरा इलेक्शन है जहां माइनॉरिटीज को किसी को भी बीजेपी ने नहीं ट्रीट किया।
नहीं, हमने मेरिट्स और विनेबिलिटी के आधार पर टिकट दिए हैं। हम मेजोरिटी माइनॉरिटी को कंसेप्ट को नहीं मानते हैं। हमने मेरिट्स और विनेबिलिटी के आधार पर टिकट दी।
सर, just day before yesterday, Mr. Siddaramaiah gave a statement about Lingayats and Lingayat chief ministers. Do you think that has changed the equation for the BJP in this election, sir?
नहीं, मैं मानता हूं कि समुदाय भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है और उन्होंने फिर से एक बार साबित कर दिया है कि कांग्रेस किस तरह से लिंगायत समुदाय का विरोध करती है,
सर
अपमान भी करती है।
सर, खुद जगदीश शेट्टर और लक्ष्मण सवदी कह रहे हैं कि सीनियर लिंगायत लीडर को बीजेपी में अवमान हो रहा है। और उसके सपोर्ट में सर, कर्नाटक में बीएल संतोष और उनके साथ 3-4 लोगों के टप्पी मुष्टि में पार्टी है बोल के भी उन्होंने आरोप लगाया।
अब तक किसकी मुष्टि में थी जब तक वो डेप्यूटी सीएम बने थे? अभी याद आया, यही मुष्टि में थी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी टीम वर्क में मानती है, किसी की मुष्टि में पार्टी नहीं है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मुख्यमंत्री ही लिंगायत समुदाय से। क्या बात कर रहे हैं लोग?
सर, हमने देखा है कि कर्नाटका में जो भी पार्टी जीतती है वो ओल्ड मैसूरू रीजन को भी जीतना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। बीजेपी इधर पेनिट्रेट करने में टिल नाउ दे हैव नॉट बीन एक्सट्रीमली सक्सेसफुल। लेकिन आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने एक कैंपेन किया था और आप भी बहुत कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर रहे हैं। क्या स्ट्रैटेजी है ओल्ड मैसूरू रीजन की?
नहीं, स्ट्रेटेजी कुछ नहीं भाई, हम पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार बनाना चाहते हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि ओल्ड मैसूर क्षेत्र की जनता भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ आए। हम हमारा विचार लेकर जा रहे हैं। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि इस बार ओल्ड मैसूर क्षेत्र में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को अच्छी सफलता मिली।
सर, शेट्टी सर ने बोला था कि कर्नाटक का बीजेपी आज बीएल संतोष के हाथ में है। जो
मैंने जवाब दे दिया भैया, शायद आप कहीं और सोच में थे।
Sir, you mentioned about Mahadayi. When last time Prime Minister had come here, he said he would solve the issue and the work will start. And now, even after all these years, the Kasaragod project is yet to take off and yet to get permission from the central government. And all sides, BJP-led governments are there, and Goa is still objecting to the project.
मैंने जो कहा वो रिकॉर्ड पर है, you can quote me. चले, आप सभी का धन्यवाद भैया।
आप दूसरे से कारण बता सकते हैं? आप जैसे आपने कहा कारण इनको पता है।
मैंने इनको नहीं कहा, उनको पता है ऐसा कहा है। उनको बता दिया गया है, सेक्टर को बता दिया गया है, ऐसा कहा।
सर, बता दीजिए क्या रीजन था सर?
नहीं, ऐसे सार्वजनिक रूप से पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं से जो बात होती है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नहीं बाहर जाती है, कांग्रेस में जाती होती है।
वोटर्स भी पूछ रहे हैं।
हम जवाब देंगे ना वोटर्स को, आपको तो नहीं देना, आप प्रत्याशी हो क्या? अरे हम देंगे ना जवाब। मैंने कहा ना, बहुत सारी जगह पे बदलाव हुआ है।
Well, that was Home Minister Amit Shah telling you about the BJP's plan and what it sees as a key opportunity in the old Mysuru region. He's also spoken about the key defections that have happened from the party. And according to him, it's not going to benefit anyone. The BJP stands strong. That's the assertion that the Home Minister makes while being on the campaign trail in the poll-bound state of Karnataka. Joining us on the news epicenter tonight is Mr. D.P. Satish. He's the Group Editorial Advisor for South for Network 18. He's joining us on the show. D.P. Satish, thank you so much for speaking with us. When you see BJP making an all-out attempt to woo the Vokalinga voters in the old Mysuru region, none other than Home Minister Amit Shah, many other star campaigners of the BJP are going to throw their political weight in this region. The key takeaways for you, and how does the BJP plan really seem to you?
See, election campaign is picking up pace across Karnataka. Rahul Gandhi is campaigning in northern part of the state. Priyanka Gandhi is expected tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah is campaigning across the state. He started his campaigning in Gundlupet, which is the last assembly segment on Karnataka-Tamil Nadu border. It is at the tri-junction of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And after that, he campaigned aggressively across the Gowda stronghold of Hassan district. And after that, Mr. Amit Shah has landed in Hubli, which is the stronghold of the BJP. So BJP is trying to win as many seats as possible in the old Mysore region, which is a Gowda Vakaliga stronghold, and where Congress is in direct fight with JDS in most of the constituencies, except a few in urban pockets of Mysore and Bengaluru, and also Tumkur and maybe Chikmagalur. So BJP is trying to make inroads into the Vakaliga heartland of old Mysore region. they tried through Tipu Sultan, Uri Gowda, Nanjay Gowda and all, and after that BJP seems to have realized that these things, communal polarization is not working in old Mysore region and they will have to use something else. So they are talking about development and how they are going to develop this area. And they are also indirectly telling the people that there is no guarantee that the chief minister's post will definitely go to the Lingayats this time. BJP wants to make it an all caste party in Karnataka, because all these days Lingayats were identified with BJP, and this time BJP wants to make it an all caste party so that anyone from any party can become the chief minister. This
Satish,
is their formula.
there's my last question to you. What makes the BJP hopeful? You pointed out to me earlier, this is the stronghold of the JDS and a direct competition which the Congress party has posed to the JDS in the old Mysuru region. When the BJP is making this all-out move, throwing its political might, what makes them hopeful? Have they got any indications? Did they fare better in the last elections? Or is it just the push for the Vokalika votes, as you pointed out, beyond the Lingayat factor?
See, BJP certainly did well in some pockets of this region in the 2018 elections. And BJP thinks that they can expand their area of influence in this region, because BJP knows they can come to power on their own. They can win at least 120 seats on their own only if they win more seats from the Gowda heartland of old Mysore region. And BJP has already got a lot of Vokalika leaders, not one or two. There are many. They need to get votes. They will have to win more seats in Hassan districts, Mandya district, and also Bangalore rural district, Chamarajanagar district. These districts, if they capture Tumkur and Kolar and Chikballapur districts also, they can definitely win. And they have got a lot of new faces, new leaders from this region. BJP is fighting this election quite well in old Mysore region. So they want to win more seats if they want to come to power on their own in Karnataka.
Come to power on their own, and to do that, they'd have to capture old Mysuru region, at least some critical parts, some crucial parts. Thank you, DP Satish, for joining us on the broadcast. I want to take this question to our guest as well, Lavanya Balal of the Congress Party and Pratap Kanagal of the JDS. Both are joining us on the broadcast. Pratapji, coming to you first. The BJP is making an attempt, and a very strong one. Their argument is that vote for the JDS is vote for the Congress Party, and if you want a real opposition in this particular region, if you want development, then BJP is the party to go for. There are multiple infrastructure projects that the Bomai-led government, union government, multiple NHAI projects they're touting as an example of development that can happen in the region. Are you confident of retaining your bastion, sir?
Of course, there's no doubt we will retain our bastion. We will retain old Mysore state, old Mysore region, as well as Kalyana Karnataka. This time we are going to sweep, as well as central Karnataka. We are going to do really well. And especially the recent developments, whatever happened in last 10 days, the lot of shuffles and lot of confusion and infighting among the two national parties. So we are confident that we will not just South Karnataka, but we will do really well in other part of Karnataka also. Coming to BJP's attempt in South Mysore, this is not the first time they are attempting. Even in the last election, 2018, they tried every chance, every time, even including maybe Mr. Amit Shah. I will take one or two examples of constituencies where he campaigned. In fact, I will take one of the constituencies in Hassan, Kasaragod, where one Mr. Yoga Ramesh was the candidate. In 2013, he was an independent candidate and he managed to get 32,000 votes. And he contested in BJP ticket in 2018 and he bought Amit Shah to campaigning for offer, in one or two rallies in Arpal Taluk, but he managed, he reduced to 15,000 votes. That's the thing what old Mysore state people have in for BJP. So people of Karnataka have seen the mismanagement and corruption and communal tensions and all those things in the last 3.5 years.
We will also try and get a BJP spokesperson on the broadcast. We're trying to get a BJP spokesperson as well. Let me bring in Lavanya into the discussion. Lavanya, you also had Home Minister Amit Shah while he was addressing a press conference. He spoke about the top defections that have happened from the BJP and benefit of the Congress party. They were like, and the Home Minister said, well, while the Congress party can be very happy, the Lingayat votes are going to stay with the BJP. They are not going anywhere. And the Congress party has historically never respected the Lingayat leaders. That's the key allegation he's put on the Grand Old Party. Lavanya.
Anusha, yes, there was an instance once in the past which we made a mistake and we have paid for that mistake, a very expensive mistake that had turned out to be for the Congress party for all these years. But look at what BJP is doing right now. If he says the defection is not going to benefit Congress party and it is not going to hurt the BJP party, that is incorrect, because if Mr. Shettar would have stayed in BJP, would it have helped BJP? Would Savadi ji staying in BJP help the BJP? If it is yes, then of course, when they move to another party and when they move to Congress, it is going to help the Congress party. Also, Mr. Amit Shah was campaigning in South Karnataka today, and South Karnataka, even Karnataka for that state, is very upset with Mr. Amit Shah, especially because of the Nandini issue and a huge amount of the milk federations. Milk unions come from South Karnataka, and the entire Nandini versus Amul battle started off with Mr. Amit Shah making that statement in Karnataka. Till then, we did not have this battle of Amul versus Nandini. So the farmers and the voters of Karnataka are very aware of the kind of divisive politics Mr. Amit Shah has been practicing in Karnataka. See, he may be a Chanakya elsewhere in the country, but his whatever that self-given, branding is not going to work in Karnataka, especially South Karnataka. It is not going to work. Of course, yes, BJP is trying its level best to create a foothold there, but he is also seen as somebody who comes from Delhi, who is very arrogant and does not respect Kannadigas and the Karnataka culture.
Well, I'm sure Vijay Prasad, the Karnataka BJP spokesperson, will disagree with Lavanya Balal. He's also joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Vijay ji. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Yeah, the Congress party thinks that it's bad governance, poor governance, and the fact that you don't have a local Vokaligga face as a key big face that you can show to the electorate of Karnataka. National leaders can't rescue the party at the state level. That's what the Congress party is saying.
No, see, whatever whoever the leaders we have, we know Congress has really scared. In the last couple of days, we have seen with the announcement of over 40 star campaigners list and the local leaders who are been engaged with BJP for the whole campaign. The Congress is really a worried lot. They are burning the midnight oil to make sure that even they can win the election by bringing in Rahul Gandhi and by bringing in an anti-national element, a terrorist MP like Imran Pratap Garri. So this is the kind of people where Congress has, and they are today they are really a worried lot when Modi ji and Amit Shah and Yogi Adityanath and Himanta Biswa Sarma, everyone comes and descend on Karnataka and start working towards with the people. And they are the ones who are really worried lot. If Amit Shah comes and campaigns for us, what is it for them? He is our senior leader and he is our master strategist, and he can give the people a bird's eye view and grassroots mood. He is the master strategist.
But Mr. Vijay Prasad, the key question that various political analysts and the opposition is asking you is that if this particular region has been the bastion of the JDS and the second party here is the Congress party, what makes the BJP so hopeful? My colleague DP Satish was also pointing out that so far the BJP is yet to get its big Vokaligga phase, and to get beyond the Lingayat vote bank, to form a government on its own, you need to capture this particular region, which has been the stronghold of the JDS. What makes you so confident and hopeful? Because the Congress and the JDS clearly disagree with you.
The mood of the Karnataka is the biggest confidence as of today. Okay, we are going with that confidence. PM Modi and CM Bommai have done so many development works for Karnataka. This is the election of Modi's Vikas politics against Congress's appeasement politics and JDS's drama politics. This is the confidence that we are approaching the people. What else you need? The Vikas politics of Modi ji. This is exactly what we are taking to the people, and we are making sure that and we had a program for the Labharthis, for the beneficiaries. Today, the BJP government, the schemes have reached at least 20 to 25,000 homes in every assembly
Pratap Kanagal, the JDS has been able to dominate this region only on the basis of the caste arithmetic, but real development has not really reached the people of the old Mysuru region. And based on a caste factor, you can't continue to dominate a particular region. That's the narrative from your political opponent. Respond to that.
Maybe someone who is uneducated or unaware and who is not knowing Karnataka should make this kind of, nonsense allegations that South Karnataka is not developed. South Karnataka is comparatively development work is not happened. It's a very laughable thing. I feel it's a joke. It's a joke. The daily basis, like Modi and Amit Shah does. No, let's stop corruption. They come to Karnataka and they said, let's stop corruption. Let's throw it out. Okay, who is ruling? Let's throw them out. They say, let's end the dynasty. They have given a ticket to 40 people. They will end their political career now. That's all. See, BJP doesn't have a face. BJP doesn't have a credible face. They don't have last even in the Lok Sabha election, they had to literally go with the Modi's mask. No, today they can't even go with the Modi's mask. People don't even trust Modi nowadays because Modi.
But Pratapji, the individual brand of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been a decisive factor in multiple state elections across the country.
Madam, this is not Uttar Pradesh or Gujarat. Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh may work, but Karnataka it won't work. Even in 2018, for that matter, BJP is managed to get every leader and make them sit here. But what happened? They got only 100 seats. That was the case against the Congress ruling party. They would have got 125, 130 seats, right? Compared to 2008 when there was no Modi, when people were of Karnataka.
Okay, I have last 2 minutes on the show. Rajalakshmi Joshi has been very patiently waiting. 1 second, let me bring in Rajalakshmi Joshi into the discussion. Then I'll also give BJP the chance to respond to all the charges that have been made. Rajalakshmi ji, brand Narendra Modi, will that be a factor in Karnataka election? Of course, the JDS and the Congress think otherwise.
A very good evening. Yes, definitely. Modi ji definitely is a brand, and he is a star campaigner. That is, there is no, it's not a secret at all. And he actually connects with everybody, whether it may be whatever age, whatever community, whatever religion. He connects with everybody, and he has such a positive outreach. I like how he has been trying to bring all the states together. He tries to bring all the states into unison. He, contrary to what the Congress spokesperson said, the divisive politics is being played by the opposition parties and not by the BJP. What I can see is, Amit Shah ji, he spoke about bringing together Nandini and Amul, and it was, they are both cooperatives. It's not a contest, it's not a competition, it's about cooperation.
I have last 1 minute on the show. Mr. Vijay Prasad ji, answer your political opponents when they say that it's going to be the key local leaders or the leaders from Karnataka who are going to be a decisive factor in the state of Karnataka, and the entire narrative election, or perhaps the personal brand of national leaders will not work in this assembly election. Mr. Vijay Prasad.
No, see, I want to counter some of the comments made by my opponents. So, see, here in Karnataka, there are at least around 5.28 crore beneficiaries under various schemes. Some of the flagship schemes like, say, PM Kisan, Raita Vidyanidhi, Raita Shakti, Poshan Abhiyan, Stree Shakti, and Udyog Vahini. See, these are some of the flagships where 5.28 crores is not a joke. It is a reality, it's a fact, and people are benefited out of this.
I apologize, Vijay Prasad ji, for interrupting you there. I'm completely out of time. I'm very sorry. But the old Mysuru region, the Vokaliga belt, is going to be very critical for any political party, including the BJP. If the Congress, BJP or the JDS wants to form a government on its own, who will win this triangular contest, we'll know only on the 13th of May. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you for watching News Epicenter.
Be done. And coupled with this is the socio-economic dimension of the problem. You have to skill the youth over there. You have to give them education. You have to get them localized here and not run away to Canada and USA and UK.
Yes,
So
because
all
a
in
lot of
all,
this kind of propaganda that we see in Punjab or in India comes from across the borders, comes from people who are sitting on foreign soil, enjoying the kind of immunity that they do there, which perhaps gives them the confidence to spew the kind of venom that they do. And I want to get in the former DG of Punjab, Shashikant, who's on the panel as well. And like Lieutenant General KJ Singh was also pointing out, the kind of synergy that we have seen between the centre and the state and the agencies as far as this operation goes, that is something that should be commended. But the questions that are being raised about how it took 36 days for the police to actually track him down, for him to be arrested today, and the fact that he did in fact escape from right under the nose of the Punjab police. Are those questions completely misplaced, Shashikant?
Look, as far as synergy is concerned, yes, that needs to be praised and commended on, yes. There has been synergy between the Punjab police, the central intelligence agencies and the paramilitary forces and everything. Everybody was on the same page as far as this thing is concerned. But having said this thing, I just want to say about what exactly Pakistan is doing. I think I have been a student of this kind of operations, or I've read a lot about it. It was one of the most notorious, most mischievous operations launched by the ISI, whereby they planted a person here. They're hoping that it was whether it would create a kind of situation there, which was there in mid-80s. And I'm happy to say that the Punjabis have sort of given a, we have not stood by it, and we have given a proper answer to Pakistan. But again, having said this thing, this person has been arrested, but again, it's not the end of the road. This guy was hiding somewhere for 35 days. Somebody was feeding him. Somebody was giving him money. Somebody was choreographing, like I said, Pakistan has been choreographing. What was the channel? That channel needs to be exposed, and all these persons who are in cahoots with this particular person, they need to be brought to the books, and proper legal action needs to be taken about it. And lastly, as I think General Sav was also saying, yes, it's about the time when the governments, not only of Punjab, but the central government also, they need to take care of the problems that we have in Punjab, on which this guy tried to encash upon. This is drug addiction. This is youngsters going abroad. This absence of jobs. These are some of the burning issues on which the state government and the central government will have to monitor very closely and find some sort of answer to it.
And as far as whether this marks the end of the Khalistani propaganda that we were seeing in Punjab, at least in the last several months, ever since Amritpal Singh came from Dubai, he wanted to position himself as Bhindranwale 2.0. You know, many would say it's...
The last 1 year, for 52 weeks, we've been #1 across time bands, across our different data points, across different viewer segments. The fact that for the last entire year we have dominated the ratings, there is no parallel to this. 1 year of non-stop, undefeated, unbeaten #1. I think it's a great testament to the young team here at CNN News 18. This is great validation for us and for this young team here to continue on this path and to continue bringing you stories that we believe are making a difference to your lives.
Again, and Punjab police has been mature. It is been sensitive about handling the religious places, so it's not created a situation where things would have got out of control. Whether they should have taken this much of time to apprehend him is a different issue that can be analyzed. But now let me get to the crux of the problem. The problem is ISI runs the K2 cell. That cell is tasked for fomenting trouble in Kashmir and for Khalistan cause. And they are using drones for sending explosives, weapons, and all kind of nefarious activities they are attempting.
Yes.
There is a certain amount of synergy between the state police and BSF. Today, a joint flag march was taken out in Moga. I commend that. Taking Amritpal to Dibrugarh and confining him with 8 other associates of his and putting him under NSA, again, I commend that. BSF finding some methods to deter drones, which is increasingly seen, once again, appreciable. But we cannot let our guard down. We have to be careful. And in any case, investigation has to be got completed expeditiously so that we can prepare a dossier, hand it over to FATF and other agencies, name and shame Pakistan, take legal action against this person, and create a deterrent kind of environment based on our investigation.
Yes.
And also there is an air of skepticism in Punjab. There are wild theories floating around. So it will be a good idea to share information, to put out a white paper if required.
Yes.
So that people are reassured that there is no conspiracy taking place, things are under control, and more will be done. And coupled with this is the socio-economic dimension of the problem. You have to skill the youth over there. You have to give them education. You have to get them localized here and not run away to Canada and USA and UK.
Yes,
so
because a lot of this kind of propaganda that we see in Punjab or in India comes from across the borders, comes from people who are sitting on foreign soil, enjoying the kind of immunity that they do there, which perhaps gives them the confidence to spew the kind of venom that they do. And I want to get in the former DG of Punjab, Shashikant, who's on the panel as well. And like Lieutenant General KJ Singh was also pointing out, the kind of synergy that we have seen between the centre and the state and the agencies as far as this operation goes, that is something that should be commended. But the questions that are being raised about how it took 36 days for the police to actually track him down, for him to be arrested today, and the fact that he did in fact escape from right under the nose of the Punjab police. Are those questions completely misplaced, Shashikant?
Look, as far as synergy is concerned, yes, that needs to be praised and commended on, yes. There has been synergy between the Punjab police, essential intelligence agencies and the paramilitary forces and everything. Everybody was on the same page as far as this thing is concerned. But having said this thing, I just want to say about what exactly Pakistan is doing. I think I have been a student of this kind of operations, and I've read a lot about it. It was one of the most notorious, most mischievous operations launched by the ISI, whereby they planted a person here. They're hoping that it was whether it could create a kind of situation there, which was there in mid-80s. And I'm happy to say that the Punjabis have sort of given a, we have not stood by it, and we have given a proper answer to Pakistan. But again, having said this thing, this person has been arrested, but again, it's not the end of the road. This guy was hiding somewhere for 35 days. Somebody was feeding him. Somebody was giving him money. Somebody was choreographing, like I said, Pakistan has been choreographing. What was the channel? That channel needs to be exposed, and all these persons who were in cahoots with this particular person, they need to be brought to the books, and proper legal action needs to be taken about it. And lastly, as I think General Sir was also saying, yes, it's about the time where the governments, not only of Punjab, but the central government also, they need to take care of the problems that we have in Punjab, on which this guy tried to cash upon. This is drug addiction. This is youngsters going abroad.
It's a diplomatic tangle, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, namaste and Jai Hind to all our viewers, and thank you for joining us here on this edition of The Right Stand. India is trying to negotiate with as many as 6 nations, if not more, to ensure the safety and also the evacuation of its citizens from strife-torn Sudan. So you have the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, US, UK and France that are coming into play, along with some other nations with whom India is using all of its diplomatic leverage to ensure that citizens are evacuated safely. The operation to evacuate our people from Sudan is underway. A confirmation of this came via social media on Twitter by the External Affairs Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, saying about 500 Indians have reached the port Sudan and rescue operations are all in full swing. He also said that India ships and aircraft are all set to bring the stranded Indians back. The problem is the airspace in Sudan is closed. So the Indian aircraft are waiting on standby in neighboring nations so that they can make an entry or air dash the moment the airspace is opened. But India is also leveraging on some other nations who've been able to evacuate their citizens, be it the UK or France or even the US, nations which will help them. While speaking in Kerala just a short while ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also vowed to bring back all those stuck in Sudan. This operation is being called Operation Kaveri.
साथियों, सूडान में गृह युद्ध के कारण हमारे अनेकों देशवासी फंसे हैं। हमने ऑपरेशन कावेरी का अभियान शुरू किया है और वहां से हमारे लोगों को सुरक्षित लाने का काम प्रारंभ हो चुका है और उसकी निगरानी के लिए हमारी केरल की ही संतान और मेरी सरकार के मंत्री मुरलीधरन जी को मैं उसकी निगरानी के लिए वहां भेज रहा हूं ताकि ऑपरेशन कावेरी बहुत तेज गति से हम सफलतापूर्वक पूर्ण करें।
Moving on here on the right stand, after a 36-day-long run, Amritpal Singh gave himself up to the Punjab police in the native village of his role model and original Khalistan mascot, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. He is currently lodged in the Dibrugarh jail in Assam. And here on the right stand, we decode how Amritpal was not just plotted or propped up by the Pak ISI, but he was also brazenly misled by them. This is the exclusive that we bring to you this evening on the right stand on this man Amritpal. The fact that he was a weakling, we will expose. The fact that he was propped up, a mere puppet, an instrument in the machinations of the ISI, but more importantly, he was misled. A different picture was painted out to him. And as the information will unravel, you will realize the devious methods the enemy is using, and especially with those who are born post-1984 massacre of Sikhs in our country. Let's move on to this. Moving on to the exclusive part, intelligence sources tell Amritpal say that Amritpal was definitely planted after a deliberation to fill in the space of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. So there was a desperation amongst those who are orchestrating this Kashmir Khalistan narrative that after Bhindranwale, somebody needs to be propped up in that space. The ISI realized that movement from Canada, UK and Germany was not yielding too much of result. So whatever was happening there in these foreign nations, in this foreign soil, and the disruptions there was not creating any problems or any gains, yielding any gains for the enemy or the ISI. The ISI's plans also failed in Pakistan, Punjab, that's the Pak province of Punjab, and Sikhs also snubbed them outright. And then Pakistan got in touch with some of these K elements or the K rogues based in the United Kingdom. The ISI felt that Gurpatwant Panun's referendum agenda was also failing to gather much momentum or support on ground. So what happened is the ISI reached out to some of these K-rogue elements based in the United Kingdom, and they identified this man who was plying his wares at a truck company or a transport company in Dubai, and they identified him for ground zero operations. What was Amritpal told? The Pak ISI got in touch with these K elements. These K entities went and told Amritpal that Sikhi or Sikhism is in danger in India. They led him to believe, an educated youngster but a little wayward in his ways, that he has the opportunity to go and take control and revive Sikhi and save Sikhi in India, which was under attack. That was what was told to him. The ISI wanted to revive this entire Bhindranwale move, but this is how they wanted to coach. This is what we are given to understand. Intel sources are telling us that Amritpal was told about the need to revive Sikhi and how he could do it and how he would receive all the help from these elements if he chose to go back to Punjab, go back to India and do it. We are given to understand that Amritpal Singh himself is abusing Pakistan. So he's got no love for Pakistan or for the enemy. He for till now was believing that he is doing something to help revive Sikhism in India by talking about these issues, not realizing the machinations of the enemy. He says he's been abusing Pakistan. Pakistan now, this is what sources are telling us. Overall, this is the agenda of the enemy. Pick out youth, youngsters, people born post-84, spin a narrative about the 84 Sikh massacre in such a way to say that Sikhs are leaving the country and settling abroad. Sikhs are a small number and not getting enough representation. Sikhs are in trouble and Punjab is being rid of Sikhs. And Sikhism is in danger from various aspects. So you have to ensure that there is a separate land for Sikhs so that Sikhism survives and Sikhs survive. This is the narrative being put. So this false narrative is being pushed. So what happened after Amritpal got arrested? Intelligence sources telling our investigations editor Manoj Gupta that during the transit and the conversation which was happening at that time, Amritpal has actually abused Pakistan and told them that he knows about the situation of minorities and Muslims in Pakistan. Sources telling News 18 that during these 35 days when Amritpal was missing, his family was actually meeting officials multiple times, in touch with them. Sources say that Amritpal's wife also sent a message to Khanda, Avatar Singh Khanda, who was Amritpal's handler, that he will be held responsible if anything happens to Amritpal. The family will openly hold him responsible. The wife also alleging that Avatar Singh Khanda misled Amritpal. Sources say that during the flight from Bhatinda to Assam in that AN-32, which was known for its bumpy rides, he actually puked, he vomited out of fear, uneasiness, multiple aspects, which show that he is not a hardened, radicalized man like Riaz Bhatkal or some of the others. Agencies are now actually probing Amritpal's funding and his handlers. With Amritpal in custody, the centre is now focusing the attention on trying to ensure there can be a noose that can be tightened around these pro-K groups operating on foreign soil. News 18 has further information that there is engagement and there is an effort to try and do a massive crackdown on all these K puppets propped up by the enemy, and that there is information we have here at News 18 that India is expecting some action to be seen, especially against those who have vandalized our consulate, our Indian property, attacked temples, and the inaction against these outfits have been raised at multiple fora with these nations. Also, we are given to understand and information that an NIA team will soon visit London and meet officials to probe the attack on the Indian High Commission. India's External Intelligence Agency has also been asked to prepare a dossier on pro-Khalistan entities, and the Internal Intelligence Agency meanwhile is working on establishing a link between local support in Pakistan and pro-Khalistani entities abroad. Sources have said that the investigation will look at ground handlers supporting the Khalistani agenda from India. But what stands out, ladies and gentlemen, is how deep the rot runs in terms of the narrative and how well they de-link their real agenda, prop up the agenda which they think will work on ground, and then they are misguiding youth. Ramnik Maan, activist with us, Shashikant ji, former DG Punjab, and also Puneet Sahani, activist with us. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. Puneet Sahani, you had called this out. You had called out that the language, one of the things that you had called out in your, when you put out on social media, is that Amritpal was also a very smart guy. His language and his tone and what his narrative is when he's speaking in English is different. When he moves into Punjabi, it's different. So he's catering to two different audiences. The other aspect is of this targeting, that an Amritpal is a soft target. It's a false narrative that is spun, and these people are made to think that Sikhi and Sikhs are in danger in India.
So, Namaste Anand Bhai, Jai Ma Bharti. So there are a few points. Now, first of all, it's not false narrative. These are just like psychopathic liars. So, for example, now I was listening to this 2-minute speech. I think it was 100-second speech that he gave before he surrendered to the police. Now, in that 100-second in Punjabi, anybody can listen. You know what he's saying? I counted, it was 6 or 7 times. He said in this 1 month while I was away, he was justifying why he was running around like a dog and why he surrendered now. He says 6-7 times that, the government had unleashed a great repression of Sikhs. Look, imagine what kind of a conversation you can have with such deranged and such filthy liars. What repression has happened to the Sikhs? Ramneek Bhai is sitting here, everybody is sitting here, everybody is doing it. Sikhs are the most, beloved and thriving community here. Now, if somebody is saying nonsense like that, what kind of argument you can have? And I will just make a, a salient point. So, what you say, about very few, Sikhs are involved. All this is true, Anandji, and this is also I'm bringing out. But there is another perspective to it. The thing is, it's not how many, what do you say, Sikhs support Khalistan or not. Almost nobody supports it. But the question is, can a few number of Sikhs who are radicalized and the government who doesn't, deal with them firmly, can they create a havoc or not? This is what happened in Punjab. You will be surprised, even after Blue Star, there was not a large support amongst the Sikhs against for Khalistan. I'll tell you, the main guy of Bhindranwala, who was Amreek Singh, he lost the Gurdwara election. They can't even win a Gurdwara election. From Moga, he lost from Jeevan Singh Ji Umranagar. When they did a sociological study of Punjab, then they asked people, why had you joined the Khalistan movement? So the people who had joined for Bhindranwala, for Khalistan, for Delhi 84, for Blue Star, all these people together, they were hardly 10%. And 40 people have joined Shokiya Tor se. This was the reason they had given in sociological study that had been done by 3 very reputed sociologists of Guru Nanak Dev University, that they had joined for looting, they had joined for rape, and because they lived for less than 1 year. But in that 1 year, they committed 50 rapes. So they did not even have support then. But you see what the havoc was unleashed in Punjab. And more than, 22,000 Punjabis were killed. Because, we didn't manage this issue properly. So as much as I accept this point that only it's a small fringe, but it's a small fringe, and if we don't manage it correctly, it doesn't mean it can create a havoc for the entire country.
Point well made, Puneet ji. Let me just bring in Ramneek and Shashikant ji. Ramneek ji, before I get into the narrative aspect with Shashikant ji, the post-84, using the 84 massacre as a narrative to try and spin a different story altogether abroad. This is a narrative game. Now we are given to understand, Amritpal may know a lot of things or may not know a lot of things, but right now what we are given to understand that he was made to believe that what he is doing is in the interest of Sikhi, to save it, to revive it.
Okay, Sashrikal, Namaste, Jai Hind, Anand. See, Anand, I would, want to tread with caution when it comes to Amritpal. To be honest, I mean, he's been demanding Khalistan on Indian soil. This is the first time this has happened. Even Bhindranwala didn't ask for Khalistan. He said, in chaste Punjabi, Bibi, je tu de dengi ta le lange si mang deni. In the sense, if you offer us, if you give us Khalistan, we'll take it, we don't demand it. So this is the first time somebody on Indian soil demanded Khalistan. That is one. Number two, why I say conclusively that he is a Pakistani implanted stooge or an agent is because he's never demanded Khalistan on the Pakistan side of Punjab. He's never asked for Kartarpur Sahib, he's never asked for Nankana Sahib, Punjab Sahib. He's never discussed the Khalistan or the Khalsa Raj that he talks about on the west of the Radcliffe line. That is true. Third, when it comes to protection of Sikhs, Sikhs needed protection in Afghanistan, he never stood for it. Sikhs still need protection in Pakistan, he's never spoken a word about it. Sikhs in Iran, in Iraq, they have never spoken about it. There were affluent Sikh families in Iran, by the way. And Sikhs in Africa are still very affluent. That whether it is Uganda or Kenya or East Africa, Sikhs are doing very well in business in other areas, in other spheres. I mean, this is how it is really. And this man would come out on Indian soil and tell people like me or people like Puneet that, Asi Galam, Sikhs are slaves in India. I mean, how dare he say that? this is my land, this is my country, this is my territory. So somebody who's been brainwashed comes around, he talks about Khalistan on the Indian side of Punjab, not on the Pakistani side of Punjab. There is no discount that we could or we should give him. That is number two. Number three. Now, as far as his brainwashing is concerned, of course he's brainwashed. And it's not just brainwashed. He also gets benefited financially. He's made a lot of money. That is evident from the accounts. That is evident from the way he is actually enjoying luxuries while he talks about secessionism in India. So he's getting what he deserves. I feel that, you know, he must get a fair trial as per the Indian constitution, and he should be punished for secessionism and trying to breed discontent and disharmony amongst Hindus and Sikhs. He's always tried to, you know, he was very well rehearsed with his agendas and topics. You know, mass conversions of Sikhs in Punjab, yes, it is a problem. Unemployment in Punjab, yes, it is a problem. And, you know, apart from conversion, unemployment, the drug menace in Punjab, yes, it is a problem. But those are problems which are political in nature. You don't need a separate country to deal with them.
Correct.
And you, on one hand, discuss about drug menace, and the other hand, you use a drug suppliers or somebody who's been accused of being a part of the narco terror. You use his vehicles, you're using his money. And, you know, don't even ask me, Anand, about the drug rehabilitation camps that he was running. He had no doctors. And, you know, the kind of inhuman condition people were going through and how they were being radicalized, how they got weapons, how they got advanced sophisticated wireless sets, how they got those bulletproof jackets. He was in preparation of a very different nature of war within India. So I'll not discount him as somebody who's been purely brainwashed and nothing else. He's not innocent, to be very honest.
So you're trying to say that you cannot buy this aspect that he is just a puppet and he did not know and he's been played along and he's been played. He knew what he was getting into, he was benefiting from it, profiting from it, and there are ulterior aspects which point to the fact that he knew. But Shashikant ji, this guy is a weakling. For somebody to puke it all out, puke his guts out in the flight because he couldn't handle it, and for the way he's been behaving right now, soon that he's been caught and he has had to surrender. He's given himself up.
Yeah, in the intelligence parlor, when this kind of stupid operations are launched, like the one which was launched by Pakistan, Khanda and Pannu, etc., they are just nothing but their mouthpieces of the ISI. And again, having said it, Kathmandu and Dubai remain the major hubs of the ISI presence. ISI has overseas, big overseas stations out there. They identified this person and look at what happened. It is clear that the entire so-called short-term operation by the ISI through Khanda or Pannu or whatever that might be, it was being very closely monitored, or maybe I can use the word choreographed. Funds were being pushed into, everything was there. And I was listening to the gentlemen who were talking before me. Yes, I fully agree, like I have said, that whenever you launch an operation, this kind of deep infiltration, whether for short-term or long-term, you have to find a weakling, because weaklings can be brainwashed very easily. If a person has some sense in his head, then you know that's difficult to brainwash him, number one. And secondly, I said that this he was here for 6-7 months, and in 6-7 months, certainly he indulged in so much of there was so much of upheaval, so much of panic, which was not there in that sense even in 84. 84 we were talking about. Why the terrorist militants lost? Because a good chunk, major chunk of Punjabi population had turned against them